Why, hello, everyone. Yes, quiet. So, you may be asking yourself, what's going on tonight? What's happening? There's a few things, mind you. Of course, we have our delicious, fantastic D&D session about to start, and it's gonna be wonderful. Uh, I've been working on getting my EQ set for my voice so that it sounds a little better, as well as doing some gain and compression and touching up a few things. And you'll see my reactive there. It looks a little different. It's got a few things on it, and you'll be seeing that in a second because I want to show that off as well because I've been working on that for a few days. Um, don't refer to the campaign as delicious? No, it's a delicious campaign for me because it's full of terrible turns of events, and I love terrible turns of events. So shut up, Zoe, bro. Anyway, do the Arnold. I will do the Arnold for now. For the next 5 minutes, I will do Arnold. Well, we have new reactives because we do cameos and do work with many people, many good people that do many things. One thing, terrible turn of events. Yes. Stupid. That's what you get. We have one announcement though that I need to say to all those who are here right now. So I'm gonna cut the voice redeem for a second so I can get this across to you guys. So, not sure if most of you know. If you don't, that's okay. I'm gonna tell you now. June is a number of things. That should be what's coming up is June. June is a number of things. But June, one of the big things it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. The idea is that uh, a lot of guys get together, including your birthday. Yes, so that is correct. But it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, where basically a lot of us are coming together. Those of us who are in fire, EMS, police, or different forms of law enforcement, corrections, military, Navy, Army, Marines, Air Force, etc. Where we've been trying to get a lot of folks together from around different groups, and we're all kind of coming together to do uh, a lot of stuff and collaborations over June, specifically meant to try and break the stigma of men's mental health and the effect of like people don't want to talk about it. It makes you feel weird talk about it, and we're kind of here to share our stories, our points of view, set up support networks, set up advocacy groups for people. A few of the people that you will know that are in this group, um, you'll kind of see as the month turns over and I start doing more work with them since everything kind of starts popping off. One of them already has an advocacy group going in where he works. Another one is doing the same. And so we're all kind of just trying to break that stigma because we've all lost too many people to it. And so that is what June is going to be. I'm going to have to go back and reread like our goal notes and what we're doing. I don't know if we're doing anything for charity quite yet. I think most of what we're doing is going to be about awareness and kind of trying to break through that wall that is there for a lot of people and trying to be there for them. So keep your ears and eyes out for that. Um, Otherwise, that's the really big announcement. The second thing is that there's a big art project that I've been working on that I'm slowly working through that I've been enjoying. And I'll show you that really quick. So we'll flip over to this screen. And of course, you can't really see anything, and that's okay. But you can still hear me, and what you can hear is me telling you about how down down yonder here. I'll also need to scoot my display capture over now. Is that you can see there's a number of references in Easter eggs now in the overlay. There's a bunch of different ones that will be added as we go. There's few that you can quite accurately tell where they're from, who they're from. I'll be adding some ones from different campaigns. I'll be adding ones from different people, different characters. And so it's this little collection I started doing where the overlay will continue to grow as we go. So it's a lot of interesting stuff. So if you look closely, you'll start seeing a lot of different uh, bits and bobs from different folks. But yeah, so that's something that we're working on, just to kind of just change things up and kind of make it interesting. Also got to move the chat window over. There we go. There will be some adjustments and such as we do things, but this is kind of what we're doing. So yes, that is where your pipe went. I stole it. It's mine now. But yes, so that's kind of what we're doing. You'll be able to see it more when I do other games and stuff and do collabs with people. But yeah, that's the art project I'm working on. There's a couple of things I'm working on. I got 4 more things that gotta go on there. And then I'm working on a portrait or 2 portraits for another streamer. So we're just kind of doing it. But yeah, so let's talk. Let's talk about what happened last time. Because much like I have loved to say, is that I love a terrible turn of events. So it is time for a motherfucking recap, everybody. So last time on fucking Beyond Etheria Ashes, we had quite a interesting scenario unfold before us. The idea that Pandora's box itself was taken from its resting place within the broken spire, placed in front of in front of Nez, and basically was told, you have to fix it. There is nothing else that you can do. You have to fix it. It will end the war. It will fix the problems. Nez called upon a person of extreme power that he knew that could help him kind of set the stage and get everything rolling. And Clem arrived to give the help that was required, to help the party in a sense of giving them the arcane knowledge, the guidance and assistance, and trying to understand what exactly could be used and needed for this. After his instructions and the box being rebuilt, Queen Priscilla, instead of going back on her word and simply saying, well, I'm no longer need you, I'm going to kill you now, simply said, go. What do you want as payment? And then you are free to leave. I have no more use for you. Like, your job is done. You completed what I asked you for, and therefore I will keep my end of the bargain. Easy enough. So they asked for what they wanted and they left. Except Creed stayed behind. He spoke. Why, hello, Mr. Bones. Glad to see you, sir. And we just hit our follower goal of 160. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Bones. Big appreciate, bro. Big appreciate. So, Creed stayed behind to make a deal. He made a deal with Priscilla that if he could have a way to get next to Zeus, that he could push him into a portal. He could kill him. He could remove him from the playing board. And, of course, Priscilla, who wanted the gods gone, agreed and gave Creed 2 things. One, a coin that if he snapped it would allow him to teleport right next to Zeus. The other being a leather capsule that once cracked would allow Zeus to be pushed into a door to nothingness. 15 seconds, of course. If Creed didn't succeed, then it would all fall to pieces. And I'm doing good, Bones. Thank you for asking. We are doing a quick recap on last week's session before going into this week's session, where a couple of terrible turns of events occurred and a lot of drama was kind of set in place. And so Creed made that deal, and the party would, of course, gain the boons and riches they desired, whatever they wanted, from the Queen Hags, the sister queens of St. Radric, if Creed removed Zeus from the playing board. Nez had already asked for the Valkyrie to be returned, and so they did. Easy enough. Some minor things, materials, equipment, a pseudo-dragon egg for the druid. And as they got on the Valkyrie and they went to leave, as they know that the box, Pandora's box, would not work without 2 additional world stones being activated, the first next stop, of course, would be the Drowned Temple. And as they began to fly, they saw that Balder was not with them. Strange, but not unheard of. And then something was brought up between Aura and Adarian. Aura and Adarian started having a bit of a scuffle, as Adarian, when he was working with Clem, Aura noticed Clem say something to him under hushed whispers, and Aura, with her own theories of why, began pressing him for answers, asking him who he worked for. Did he work for Hades? Did he take the deal? Is that why he hasn't interfered with them? And as she pressed further, Darian simply pushed back and said, I'm not going to talk about this with you. You're not worth my time. Go away. So Aura did to return to her egg, to go sit and hold it and wait. And as she closed the door behind her, swearing off at Darian, as she sat in her chair, did a voice echo over her shoulder as Hades himself was standing next to her, simply saying, "Hi, you narcissistic, shitty version of Hera. It's so good to see you." And at that point, he gave Aura a deal. He said that Zeus, his brother, had told him to raise all the souls that had died over the past 13 years and ravage the northeastern quadrant. Burn it all to the ground. New Haven, Ravenholm, Westminster, all the flatlands, all the farms, the Raven's Talon, Talon Keep. It would all be decimated by a living horde in the hundreds of thousands that would march across the entire region, killing all the people in between. If, and only if, Aura became his new herald, gave him a distraction. And so, he wanted Zeus gone too. Zeus had become too powerful, too chaotic, jumping too much between what he wants and what's good for the world. Hades can't remove him indefinitely, because a god killing a god, especially one of the underworld, means that he would just be stuck with him. But if someone else was to kill him, to remove him, that he would not come down to the underworld. He would go wherever his soul would be shattered to, removing the problem from the entire pantheon for the foreseeable future. So Hades made a deal with Aura. You take my spear, you take my brand, and you put the killing blow onto Zeus. I don't care about his head. I don't care about his corpse. I want you to give me the final killing blow. That's it. Land the final blow, and our deal is struck. That is it. Aura, seeing that the weight was between either taking this risk or watching millions of people die that have sought refuge in the region they have saved, took it and is now able to materialize an obsidian spear out of her hand, strictly only meant to seek the heart of Zeus. Unsure of whether it would sustain combat, it's unsure. But she left from her room to explain to the party of what has happened, so that they could also be aware of what's going on. And as she brought forward that now she needed to take the final blow onto the heart of Zeus, Creed seemed at odds, not feeling the most confidence in the situation. Adarian did say, I warned you to not use his name in vain, and therefore he showed up. He was listening, as always. But then with this, Creed seemed off put and stepped away. No one really made much of it, as everything had kind of fallen through as it is. But now there was an issue of where two people need to kill Zeus in two different ways to stop two different things from happening. One of which is the hags using Pandora's box and using the power vacuum to take control of everything instead of just their own spot. The other being the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives. And now it is up to the party to tell each other about this and see if there's a way around it. But the first thing that's on the board is to get through the Drowned Gate and the Northern Point, the two last stones that are keeping them closed from reaching High Charity. And that is where we start today. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a quick 3-minute break. I'm going to put up the BRB screen. I'm going to run the ads. I'm going to talk with my party members. I'm going to get them ready to go. And once the ads are done, we will flip back over and we will have a solid hour of game time before the next ads arrive. That way everything works out accordingly. So I'm going to do that, and we will be back with the start of the session in 3 minutes.
So I
in
reset my drivers,
theory.
and it seems to have fucked some of my stuff. So I'll actually be right back. I apparently need to restart my computer.
Very good. Also, I need to switch y'all back over because for some reason, how'd you go?
Hmm.
There it is.
I've also worked out a rough solution to this 2 people, 1 target problem.
What you mean?
Why do I hear myself? Why am I don't like the sound of my voice. Please make it stop.
We'll turn off the stream then. That's probably
Turn
how
off
you're
the
hearing
stream sound.
That's right. Mute.
I could hear Zoe's brain unraveling as he spoke.
I forgot to mute. Well, you were muted in the chat, but not for the stream, so I had it unmuted there while I was listening and then forgot.
Oh no, no.
What was that? Oh, right. So basically, I have to just open the portal and throw Creed and Aura in with Zeus. Then the problem's solved.
I mean,
Well, see, the thing is,
technically,
you can't do that.
Well, I mean, no, but you can. You just have to grab Aura before you jump in after him.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think I'm already gonna have my hands a little full.
You can figure it out. Tie a rope to yourselves.
Not
Plan
how that
ahead.
works. Not all how that
I don't
works.
think you'll have to push Aura in with you if you just think back to what's been said about it.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. He doesn't have to kill Zeus. He just has to get Zeus through the portal. She specifically has to kill Zeus, so they just both have to go through the portal.
No,
Then she
Well,
can
no,
do the
see-
stabby on the other side. I don't remember words.
The killing blow, the final hit,
Mhm,
before he dies.
mhm,
Well, see,
mhm.
I found a loophole in that.
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's the killing blow, the final hit. But
I just have to hit
Call
him
of
as he's
Du-
falling.
Call of Duty rules apply here.
Uh-huh.
No body, no kill.
No, Aura, what were the words Hades said to you last week? He's told you that he wanted the final killing blow, but what did he specifically say he wanted you to do with that spear?
I forget
All right,
his
she's
exact
got a stab
words.
in the fucking heart. I remember now.
Yeah, I have to put it through his heart. I know that. But I don't remember exactly what was said.
That's the gist of it. It's
And
essentially he
also,
wanted you to pierce his heart as the final blow.
Creed,
Mhm.
that logic still technically doesn't work. There's still a body somewhere after he goes through the portal. It still counts. Flesh.
Oh,
Besides, technically speaking, putting him into another realm is a killing blow in and of itself.
Are you sure it's another realm?
I'm back.
For all you know, that hag gave you a capsule that leads to some kind of little micro prison she's got in her back pocket or something.
No, she told
You
him
might be-
what's through that portal.
Oh,
She
I figured
used
she
a
was
very
making a Zeus
specific
battery.
word for it.
Space?
No. It's a very specific phrase for it.
I don't fucking remember words.
She called it 3 things. 3 words all together. Rack your brains, people.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've given up on remembering. I'm just trying to think of
I
really
kind of
really
can't
funny
because
words.
my notes are 424 miles away from me right now.
Okay.
So-
His
well
brain
then,
did not make the trip with him.
She called it a door to nothingness.
Still.
She didn't say it was a portal to another realm or to another dimension, just that it was a door to oblivion/nothingness. So translate that as you see fit.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it at the space between the stars.
Sounds like just whatever you throw in it gets deleted. Like a trash bin, basically. A trash bin for Zeus.
I mean, that's the way you want to interpret it.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. I'm good with that interpretation.
I mean, you did it then.
No, we did it.
No. We did it. No. So, let's get this show on the road. Starting with everyone waking up to a gentle chirping from the ship systems as you are approaching Trawler's Bay. Specifically, beginning to slowly approach the area where the Drown Gate is supposed to be. And as all of you wake up in your own ways. You wake up and you make coffee and breakfast. You stretch, you tinker with objects. You read in a comfy robe, much like a Darien.
I forgot I had my comfy robe. Thank you for reminding me.
Wow.
Wow.
Look, a lot's happened, and I've had to sleep a few times since then.
But then, or you were awoken by the chirping sound of the systems basically telling you that, hey, it's time to get up. We're approaching it. But then you also hear a slight cracking sound.
Egg.
I imagine you just wake up and just start yelling egg. Just egg, 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 egg. Just like crawling like an animal across the floor towards where you placed it, like egg.
Pretty much, it's on its pillow.
Walks into the main room to see Akro standing over his kitchenette with a giant dragon-looking egg over the frying pan.
Yes, you said egg. Now, would you prefer them eggs Benedict or over easy?
Hatched.
Thankfully, Ogros has not taken the pseudo dragon egg for braising. Otherwise, that would be a very funny scene. But you go to the egg sitting on its perch in your room, and as you're looking, you see that the shell's begun to crack.
And I'm gonna sit there crisscross applesauce and just stare at it.
As you stare at it, you see that the egg continues to crack open as a small pseudo dragon comes out. And it is a white pseudo dragon.
Oh, it's white.
So it has white scales. It has a light blue tint to the webbing between its spines, including the leather of its wings that still seem relatively soft. Its wings are of a adequate size to move it around, but his legs seem to be very muscular, even as a hatchling. Its eyes are sapphire, like just very sapphiric blue. Otherwise, it looks very much like a small pseudo dragon with a squared off nose, very big eyes, claws, the whole 20 yards. But it comes out of its egg and immediately crawls over to you and lays in your crossed legs.
I pet.
You hear it purr into your legs.
I pick up and I take to the main room to show my friends.
Okay. You pick up the pseudo dragon and you bring it to show your friends.
Boy or girl, by the way?
Let's find out. Odds or evens?
Evens.
It's a girl.
Kaidana. I named Kaidana.
Okay, very good. So
You're not the only female anymore.
huzzah! And so you go to the kitchenette, I assume where you would imagine the rest of your friends are, with a pseudo dragon in hand.
I'll get you to re-describe it later. I'm putting in my notes.
Oh, okay.
But we can do that later. My egg hatched. Who's out here right now?
More than likely a Darien with his book and comfy robe, Okros near his kitchenette.
Adarian
unsure of
Okos.
Nez or Creed.
Adarian Okos, my egg hatched. I have a white dragon. Well, pseudo dragon.
Congratulations.
Well, don't be surprised when it eats you when it grows up.
I'm just gonna squinty eye at Okos and stick my tongue out. She's not going to eat me. She likes me.
Or you would also know that pseudo dragons don't grow more than the largest at maybe 5 feet long. Hence why
She's
they're
not
called
gonna get.
pseudos.
She's a pseudo dragon, Okos. She's only gonna get to like 5 feet max.
Oh, you see, I heard pseudo dragon, and all I could think of was a dragon sitting there being like, Jesse, we need to cook.
Nope. It's like a miniature poodle of the dragon world.
Look, it's not the size that matters; it's how you use it.
I don't even know what she can do. She's new to me too.
White pseudo dragon, I imagine she probably has ice related stuff.
Probably.
Where is Nez? That's my question.
I was still tinkering in the back room with Lucifer, and I'm gonna say I'm coming up to get a cup of coffee and breakfast from Okros.
I would even hazard a guess that as Creed, you asked that question, you hear a loud thump as something goes off in the engineering bay. As the sprinklers go off in the engineering wing, as you see now a drenched and soot covered Nez approach the kitchenette, hand outstretched, looking for a cup of coffee.
Oh yes, it is. Good morning.
Ah,
Good morning.
I show dragon.
I hand him coffee.
Thank you, Okros. And the egg already hatched?
Yeah, I have a little white female dragon, pseudo dragon. Her name is Kaidana. Kaidana, not Kaidana. Kaidana. I don't know what she can do. I'm assuming ice-related stuff.
Okay, well, I'm really glad you reiterated the name because the first time you said it, the Kai cut out for me, so I thought you just named your dragon Donna, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I was
No.
I thought I was the only
fine with
one,
it
and so
either
I was
way.
just going with it.
Kaidana.
I was like, all right, Donna. Like that's not the weirdest thing I've heard someone name a dragon, and I was like, not really gonna throw my head at it, and like,
Kaidana. Kaidana.
I mean, it
Okay.
makes sense still, but it was like, all right, name her
Yeah.
Donna. Fuck it, it's weird.
But it was
Yeah, I was like, all right, Donna the dragon. Here we go, I guess.
Fuck it, we
I have a list.
ball.
I have a list of names. I have 3 female and 3 male names in a note on my phone.
Fair.
I was invested in this. I don't know.
well, the Yangle appears to be going for coffee, so Creed is going to come out with a mug and offer it outwards to Okros for a top-up.
Has Creed seen Dragon yet? I can't remember. No, you weren't
Yes.
out here yet.
He walked in when you were showing Dragon.
Oh, okay.
He saw Dragon.
I'm gonna miss saying egg, but I had Dragon now. I'm gonna look at them and be like, "Hey, now at least I don't have to steal one from the waves, right?"
True. I top up Creed's coffee. You're looking a little worse for wear today.
The things on my mind as of late.
Are we still flying right now?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't just walk out of the ship and see what Dragon can do.
No.
I would not
I
I mean,
recommend
you
it, no.
can. It won't be very productive.
I fall through sky.
But
You'll at least learn that it certainly can't fly you anywhere yet.
Nez, if I
might
could
fall with
steal
style,
you
though.
away for a moment,
Yes, Creed.
Please come with me. And Creed's gonna make his way to his room.
And I will follow.
Once we're both inside, Creed is going to make sure the door is closed behind him, or behind us, sealing us into the privacy of his room.
You're making it worse with each further description, sir.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out how to put it. Yeah. Creed's gonna walk over to the small table in his quarters, and he's going to pick up a package that he had wrapped up. I can't help you if your mind's in the gutter.
I didn't even think about
Like,
it until after she laughed.
I'm trying to give this the respect it's kind of due, but you
Well, all
guys
I've
want to
gotten
make
out
it
of it
weird.
is that Creed is handing Nez his wrapped package.
I'm gonna.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a serious thing. Like, this is not an easy decision to make. Like, Creed is going to be holding us very, very tenderly as he walks back over to Nez.
Sorry.
What is that, Creed?
I need to ask a favor of you. If... And he's very noticeably hesitating. If something is to happen to me, I need you to ensure that this gets to Leandros. I
Uh,
ask you don't open it until then. But I need someone I can trust to handle this for me.
no, you can trust me with it. Is everything okay?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I have a tough decision to make soon, and this is something I need to take care of before that happens. And I just need someone to make sure this gets to Leandros. I've asked Okros to do his best to make sure you get to Leandros if something happens to me.
Well,
And he
know,
holds out the package to you.
I'm gonna go out and grab the package from him, and as I grab it, I'm gonna say, hopefully, I'm just handing this back to you, and you can pass it along. But in the worst case scenario, I'll follow through with what you want.
I appreciate that greatly. You don't understand how much a relief that is, but I don't think if things go as I anticipate them to, I fear that won't be happening. But you're a good man, Nez, and I deeply appreciate that.
Creed,
Yeah.
you're a really good man to
Creed
me.
is visibly tearing, by the way. I want to point that out. I'm actually tearing up, so appreciate that.
I if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, Creed. So I really appreciate all the help you've given me. Anything I can do to help you, I'll make sure I'm there for you.
I was told long ago it's your duty to ensure that people are guided along the path the best that you can. All you needed, Nez, was someone to make sure you were doing the best you can. I'm glad to have been there to do so. Even if I almost got you blown up.
I'm gonna say that was Nez laughing.
I gotta think of that. It sounds like it's an unbelievably Creed thing to do. I'm sorry about almost getting you blown up. That was my bad, man. I'm sorry. I have to brag at that one. Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
no,
I got a
Creed
nice
is.
scar from it.
Yeah.
I would say so. Oh, well, I would say that's all the seriousness out of the way. Here's a fun question for you. How long do you think before she does something that the dragon thinks is playing and it bites her? I
Before we
give her a
get to
day.
the, I was gonna say before we get to the next stone.
It hasn't happened
Uh,
already. I suppose we have some time yet.
yeah. And hopefully, if she upsets it, it doesn't come at us.
Knowing our luck, or more specifically mine, you'll probably think I'm a dragon. Just because my skin is red and I have horns doesn't make me a dragon. But apparently I'm a bear, so all I know. Can I? You does like the little shake out of the arms. Ah, beautiful weather we're having. Let's let's head back out to everyone else. Leave the serious topics where they are.
I'm trying to feed Kaidana a cookie. I don't know what dragons eat, so I'm trying to give her a cookie.
I feel like that's something you probably should have asked before now.
The
What?
druid doesn't know.
I mean, to be fair, she is a sea elf who has never seen a pseudo dragon before, except in literature.
True.
I mean,
it eats the cookie though.
I was gonna say if it's dragon shaped, it probably eats anything meat adjacent.
Yep.
It's a cookie. Anything eats a cookie. I'm willing to bet I get an undead skeleton to eat a cookie.
You could, and you'd get the cookie back.
They're omnivores. They'll eat
Eh.
almost anything. Their preferred
The
diet is
infinite cookie
meat.
glitch right there. If you keep feeding cookies to skeletons, you keep getting free cookies back. There's a glitch right there, guys. We figured it out.
She's not a
Life hacks with
metallic.
Creed.
She's not a metallic drag, like a metallic pseudo dragon, is she? Because if she is,
No,
sorry, Lucifer.
she is a white pseudo dragon, which means she's a chromatic, not a metallic.
Okay.
Also, you're thinking the other way around. It's the chromatic ones that are kind of.
No, metallic dragons may have a preference for inorganic materials like metals and gems.
Oh, I thought you were talking about temperament. Apologies.
No.
No. It's she didn't want her pseudo dragon to go munching on Lucifer in his new form.
Okay, well, Banana eats the cookie. I'm going to take her back into my room and see what she can do. Because I don't want to hurt anybody else. Because I have no idea what she does. If she does anything.
Good luck.
Yes.
So I head back to my room with my little new friend.
Try not to blow a hole in the ship. Aircraft.
She's white. She's white. I don't think she has fire powers. I don't know what she does, but I don't think it's fire.
There are more things than fire that can put holes in aircraft, but okay.
All right, so everyone else is having brekkie, coffee, you know, Aura's playing with her her pseudo dragon.
Creech is gonna go watch her go with the dragon.
Ah,
That's a wise idea.
Well, I gotta figure out what she does. Oh, I thought
so
you.
you guys are about, I would say, a few miles from what the location of residence is, the location of the Drown Gate. And you have, you would say, about 30 minutes or so until you actually get on location to try to actually get down into the shtick, so to speak. So, as all of you kind of keep to yourselves as you go closer, Aura, you specifically feel the brand active in your hand, the heat of it still very present even after your sleep. The spear kind of feeling the weight still within your fingers, even though it is not apparent as you sit with your pseudo dragon, and as you sit with Kadana, kind of figuring out what she can do. And what it winds up that she's able to do is that right now she is still very young. Hatchlings, even with pseudo dragons and dragons, are still, they don't become fully powerful, at least to the first stage, until they're juveniles. Wormlings and hatchlings are still very dangerous to the unwary, but they're not that much of a threat, especially with pseudo dragons. But what you can tell with her is that she can do a very, very minor frostbeth. She can follow very simple commands. She can fly a very short distance. But for the most time currently, she seems to just kind of perch herself and have herself kind of wrapped down your back and like on the right side of your shoulder. Kind of think of like a cat with wings. Think of it that way. Like right now, they're acting very much like a cat that can't fly yet. But they can jump very well. They're very athletic. They can climb very well. They eat basically anything that you put in front of them. Very affectionate, very loving. Can cool things down with their breath, but they're not anything super advanced yet. They
So
do.
curly, she's just cute.
Yeah, yeah, and it's basically, if you can think of what a Maine Coon cat has for like ability stats, that's kind of what this pseudo dragon has as stats. You want to think of it that way. Like it has dark vision. It's pretty strong for a pseudo dragon. It's fast, things like that nature, and it can help you basically in combat until it gets older. It can essentially assist you like Mage Hand, where it can fetch things for you, bring things to other players. If it can fit through an opening because it's currently small size, it can activate switches and things for you, stuff like that.
Okay.
Make sense? Any questions?
Yes. Nope.
Wonderful. So,
current power is cute.
Current power is cute. That is correct. Current power is cuteness. So, with that, you all can see a actual shape in the water from where you are. Creed, you have lived in this area for most of your life, and you've never really been out to the center of Trawler's Bay. And you've never been at this altitude, which has allowed you to look down at it. And now looking down at it, you can see the clear shape of what looks to be ruins underneath the water, underneath the waves. Not necessarily mocking you, but more along the line of being somewhat hidden. And as you're looking at it and you're kind of visualizing what's down there, trying to understand what exactly you're looking at, all of a sudden you feel the nose of the ship tilt downwards.
Uh-oh.
As it begins to
What
fly
do you
down
mean,
towards the
uh-oh?
shape.
Oh.
Well, I have good news, and I have potentially bad news. Which do you want first?
What's the bad?
We appear to be descending nose first towards what I assume to be the drowned gate.
I take it the good news is we've arrived.
Yes, that's right, Orgrips. We're here. I don't know why we're going down to it, but we're here.
Oh my god, Conan, shut up.
No, that was just Okros making noise. It wasn't Conan, that was Okros.
Fair. Oh dear.
All right, so Creed is go. I assume by now Creed is at the controls. Um, if Creed pulls back on the stick, does it feel like there's resistance?
The stick is locked in place. It seems to be moving on its own accord. And as you're trying to move the stick to see if maybe there's a problem, maybe it's moving on its own, and as the Valkyrie continues to tilt down, flying towards what looks to be just an open patch of water near what it assumes to be the drowned gate, you hear the voice of the heart of the Valkyrie come over as you begin to hear hissing across all of the different panels around you. Just almost if it's a wave of hiss going from the nose of the ship to the back. As you hear the voice somebody go on saying, "All party members, please move to the bridge for descent. Thank you." Doo doo.
Right, well, I'm going to put Kaigana on my shoulder and head out to the bridge.
Or as you step out to move towards the bridge, you can tell that the ship is tilted downwards and it kind of expedites your movement.
I'm just going to sit on my butt and slide.
No, it means that you go, oh, the ship is no longer flying flat. That's a problem.
Oh,
You've
I thought you
been
meant
on,
we were like
you've been on
descending.
two
You
different
basically
airships.
just had to run downhill.
Yeah, you've been on two different airships, both of which, whenever you stepped out of a place, it was flat and level and like didn't feel like it was tipping. This one feels like it's tipping and then going down at an angle, which makes you go, ah, shit, I need to get to the bridge. This is not normal.
I'm just going to yell who broke the fucking ship.
And as the rest of you kind of funnel into the bridge as you hear the call, You see Creed fighting with the stick, trying to get the ship to turn over. As you all enter into the bridge, the bulkhead behind you shuts with a pneumatic clank, and then a hiss and a clunk as you see the door sink inward a little bit. As the voice comes back over of, bridge secured. Prepare for submersion. Do not panic.
Sub what now?
I second.
Well,
our
boys.
approach. Sub what
Well,
now?
boys, looks like we're going swimming.
No.
I'm gonna get in the seat and put a seatbelt on.
I'm going to just immediately mimic that. Slightly panicked.
Yes, all of the seats around you, there are the 6, and all of you just kind of
I'm
plop down
chilling.
into one and like 5-point harness your shit in.
I'm chilling.
You're standing up?
I'm
No,
not.
I'm sitting in the
Oh, you're
seat,
sitting
but
in
I'm
the seat?
chilling. I'm not
Okay.
panicking. I'm not panicking like they are. I'm chilling.
So as everyone kind of clicks into their harnesses, as the ship continues to take its angle down, you feel the engines cut off, as now you're in a free fall like a fucking lawn dart at a 60-degree angle.
That's the worst possible fucking explanation for what's happening right now. I love it, but it's just terrible.
As the engines turn off and the ship becomes eerily silent, minus the whistling of the wind going across the nose of the canopy, as you now are all in a direct 60-degree arc free fall towards the water. As Creed, you've given up on trying to move the stick, but you are now full fucking descending. And oh dear God, we're being raided.
Damn! Cast with the raid.
Cats with a raid! Welcome in, Raiders! Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Beyond Etheria Ashes, episode 43, The Drowned Fates. Hi, Cass. I saw that you were raiding. How did the raid go? Did you do any good phase maneuvers? Did you get any momentum done? What was the dealio? What happened? As for those who have, most of you, if you have met me, you don't need an explanation. If you haven't, welcome. My name is Grim Arrow Productions. I go by Grim. I go by Burn. I am a dungeon master of 20 years. I'm a musician, an artist, and author. I do a number of creative things on the side. I run games for these crazy goobers, among other people. No, we are currently in Owlbear. Thank you very much for the question, Jebicus. I do this on Fridays. I'm looking to open another one on Saturdays, depending on the situation that entails with my work, as well as rewriting a campaign. And I do this and collaborate with a bunch of different streamers, do bunch of different D&D workshops, as well as just kind of co-op variety streaming on my free time. I have a bunch of my stream friends here with me in this campaign currently, some of which is their first one, some of it's their second or third one, some of which have been with me since the beginning. So it's all a good time here. But yeah, welcome in. If you need a raid and run, please do so. I'd rather you take care of yourself than be here with me, because you can always drop a follow and come on back later. Otherwise, welcome in and enjoy your stay. As I always wish for everyone to do is to simply enjoy themselves. Now, for those of you who just joined us in the raid, the party is on the ship known as the Valkyrie. It is a somewhat advanced airship that is currently diving down at an open part of the ocean at a 60-degree angle in free fall towards the water. So that is where we are when you raid it in, to kind of catch you up on what's going on. Also, very good job, Cass. Small golf claps for the cat. Now you got to clear on both ends. Nice. But welcome, welcome, welcome.
And Aura's egg hatched. Cass was here when Aura got egg.
Yes, Cass was here when Aura got egg. Egg is now hatched and has become a white pseudo-dragon named Kadana.
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 Every
Kadena.
time you call it Kaidana, my brain goes Dawn of Dragon. So now you put that in my brain.
You have to take my squirrels through Milwaukee's the second part of the ad phase. There's an enrage in the first wave, so we're really happy to have gotten them through that. Nice. Nice. Poggers. Big poggers. We love to see good raid progress here. We're all a bunch of raid jockeys in different games, so seeing good progress is always poggers.
Yes.
So, where were we? Ah, yes. You hear the engines shut off as now the ship inside the cockpit, inside the bridge, becomes eerily quiet, minus the whistling of the wind across the canopy. As you are now in free fall at a 60-degree angle towards an open patch of water about 300 feet away from you. You've all sat down in your seats, attached your harnesses, some of you holding on for dear life as you heard the word submersion and you don't know what the fuck it means. And at this point, all you can do is hang on and hope to whatever god you pray to that you make it through, as you just feel pressure build in your ears as the pressure inside the ship equalizes so that it can be submerged. The pressure increasing in the cabin as it prepares for contact. As at the last 100 feet or so, you hear a high-powered whirring as you see panels open as a missile is fired at the water. Very rudimentary, very boxy looking munition. As the panels reclose, you hear ka-chunk as the cabin goes silent again as you watch the munitions hit the water and detonate, throwing sprays of water across the canopy as you feel the ship hit the water, as it just shakes you in your seats, as you feel just the inertia of the water smashing against the hull of the ship, shaking you in your chairs as you go down to a diving depth, as you hear the engines kind of kick back on, but in a lower frequency, almost gurgling sound this time, as you go from diving aggressively down to flattening out and just kind of floating gently. The sounds of pumps and air moving around in the outer layers of the hull of the ship, just as the ballast tanks fill with water, depleting the air to give you a sense of buoyancy. As now you all sit, the canopy reopening after the impact wave, now looking out into Trawler's Bay, underwater, as you see fish and small whales swim past you. Sharks and other amphibious creatures just swim away from the large object that now sits like a leviathan underneath the waves. The voice of the heart comes back over saying, "Submersion depth acquired. You are free to move about the ship. Thank you." Doot doot.
Abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm not leaving this chair.
You know, I understood that. It's called the Drowned Gate. I didn't think we'd have to actually go underwater.
Welcome to
I
my
don't know
world,
how to
boys.
I don't know how to
I hate it
swim.
here.
This could be a problem.
Or it's just in all her glory right now. Like this is her meat and potatoes. Like this is her element.
Or I can't swim either.
No, or I can swim. Or I can breathe.
No, he was just
Hilarious
editing
would that
your
be?
Like I breathe water. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim. Time to learn.
I breathe water. No one. That doesn't mean you know how to swim. It just means you know how to not drown.
My swimming speed is equal to my walking speed. I can swim. Can you?
No.
As you're all conversing, some of you still white knuckling the harness that sits around you, the voice comes across the speakers one more time, going, directions to approximate Drown Gate location acquired. Moving Valkyrie to proximal location. De-locking stick for your convenience, Creed. Doot doot. As the engines kind of gurgle a little bit deeper with higher frequency, as you feel the ship begin to move on its own very slowly through the water, kind of sliding through it, as you feel it yaw and turn on an axis, keeping the same level as it begins to move towards what you can see a very dark shape along the bottom of Trawler's Bay, as it slowly begins to drop further in depth, as it approaches what looks to be multiple archways. And as it gets a little bit closer, the stick unlocks for you, Kree, to help with minute adjustments, as lights click on to the front of the Valkyrie, lighting up these massive stone arch pieces that seem to lead almost in a path towards this front gate. The gate itself seems to be collapsed as the Valkyrie continues to move closer to it, diving down and under it until the canopy pops up into an air pocket underneath the stone structure. Now, Aura, you had a question.
I had a character question. Would I be familiar with the area?
You would be familiar with runic structures underwater, but not this one. You'd be able to learn it faster than the others because you'd be able to cross-reference with your brain, but you don't know this one.
Okay.
Yes. You do have the background knowledge, you just don't know of the knowledge.
Okay.
Yarprin. So, the ship comes to a halt as you see the water slide off of the canopy, as the ship kind of inches its way up towards a lip of stone. The glass canopy that you usually sit in kind of clunks open as a gangplank kind of juts out from the cockpit and then slams across the 10-15 foot distance from the edge of the bridge to the stones that lead to the lip. And as you just kind of put eyes around everything, spotlights turn on that begin to brighten the entirety of this chamber you're in. It seems that this massive stone structure, this area specifically, was a foyer or was an entrance to the temple itself before it was submerged. And you can see that it has these inscriptions and carvings in the walls of just these stories that were never told. But you can see that it is dark, it is damp, and it seems that nothing has been down here in quite some time.
How well lit up is this foyer?
With the spotlights coming off the Valkyrie, extremely well.
All right. Reed is going to take a look and see if there's anything that looks out of place. He had to guess.
Would I be able to read and understand the inscriptions? Like, what language are they in?
You look around, Creed, and you see that there really isn't much else that's out of place. You see that there is collapsed stone, there's collapsed pieces of walls, and it's it just seems like it's seen better days. Anything out of
Alright.
place is hard to tell from this angle. Everything looks relatively normal. And you would know with your experience in fighting monsters that as much as this would resemble like a cave mouth, like from a Casadona or a cenote, that this is a like drowned structure. Like it's not going to be easy to put anything in here. And as for you, Aura, you don't really need to translate a lot of this. This doesn't seem to be like in any strange language. It seems to be in a type of language that Creed described you before as English, or as that was the way that his companions had called it. The way that you see it, the way that it's been described, is known as Old Common or Ancient Common, as it's just the lettering seems more angled. There seems to be a very diverse stretch of consonants. This matches what you know in the common language, but a lot of the phrasing and structure of it seems very primitive and straightforward, very blunt in the way it describes things, leaving very little room for interpretation, as it is just very straightforward in what it describes. And here, it does describe to you that there is a stone and that this was a guardian. It was part of the four, and it was meant to be secured. It was also meant to be a trade hub, among other things. And a lot of the writing seems to have been faded over time. Even though most of it's been preserved, it seems like a lot of it was either broken or faded before whatever happened to submerge this place did. But you can tell you're in the right spot.
And I'm assuming, like, submerged, it's still full of water in where we are.
You're essentially
'Cause
in an air
sometimes, like-
pocket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we can leave the ship.
Yes, you can leave the ship.
Not
So
a fucking chance. No.
Well, I mean, I can leave the ship whenever.
Soshin's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Thanks, no thanks. Want nothing to do with it.
Adarian, you do realize we do have to eventually leave the ship. I'll get you floaties.
I'll
We
get
will
you
leave the ship
floaty,
when it's
she
back
says.
above water. Until then, I'm staying here. Good luck.
What's a floaty?
It's a pocket of air trapped inside a material of sorts that helps with buoyancy. Do you need some too?
No, because without him, I'm going to drown anyways.
I'm just gonna giggle at how scared these boys are of water.
What part of I mentioned Creed doesn't know how to swim. Like, I can't put that any
But he's in
better, man.
flight.
Yeah, the
Also can't swim. Heavy metal mask sealed to head. Does not float. No thank you.
like
Does not float. Refuses
I'm-
to float.
Or it's just gonna quirk her eyebrow and look at her compatriots and be like, "Can any of you swim?"
As nice, I'm just going to shrug like I've never tried. So I don't know.
I've never tried. Fuck if I know, man.
Dez just walks along the bottom of the ocean because he doesn't breathe.
He's a changeling,
Oh.
so he's not that cool.
Or it's gonna look at Okers and be like, "Can you swim?"
He just asked the 9-foot cat if it's willing to go in water.
Yeah, my immediate response was a little bit offensive because he is a lion folk. But my first thought was, yeah, you just asked a giant cat if he wants to go in water.
That's why I asked Okers directly, because he is a cat, technically.
Yeah. So
I
Creed
can
just
just imagine the withering look he just gave you.
100%.
Indeed.
Creed's just gonna go in. No time like the present.
Of course, I was going to give Aura a dead-eye stare and just dive into the water.
Did
We're in an
Creed
air
say
pocket.
it
There's
doesn't
no
have, like, a
water right
present?
now, I don't think. I
So
don't think
if
we're
you
in no
guys
water
look
right now.
from where the main map was, if you go a little bit to your southwest, to your bottom left, you're going to see a nice little drawing I've put
Oh, this is
together to
convenient.
explain to you of what exactly is going on. So this is the foyer of where you are. This is the pocket of water you flew in from, and then here's the Valkyrie with its little footbridge.
I'm so lost. Where am I supposed to go?
Oh, okay, I see. So
Oh,
we're
I
not
found it.
underwater. We're in the sense that we are in an area where we're able to get out and it's dry, right?
Yes.
Sorry, that was my fuck up.
Okay. Cool. There's a bridge. Never mind.
Cool.
I'm good with
I don't
leaving
have to dive into the
Yeah,
water
yeah.
at all then.
No,
Excellent.
it's
Yeah,
a gangplank was put across by the Valkyrie to essentially put you in this area.
It's all air. You guys get to stay dry.
Sure, until something shatters the walls and the water comes crashing in around us.
I don't know why you're so concerned. I'm fine.
I don't know why you're so concerned, says the gill breather to the non-gill breather.
Hey, I have never been the only one in my element. They've been like sitting pretty this entire campaign and where we've gone. This is my domain.
Your domain
Yeah, I would argue
sucks, and I
technically
want a refund.
neither is Creed. So a lot of years change things.
A lot of years, bro. A lot of years.
I want to point out, I'm legitimately considering, as a character thing, I'm really proud of the letter I wrote for that, by the way. I might actually pay someone to make it nice and mail it to you.
Now that I've realized there's a plank and I can just walk out, I hang my comfy robe up somewhere and I leave. I just follow the others out.
Yeah,
Just wearing the normal, not comfy robe now. Was double robing this whole time, for the record.
for sure.
Odd question.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Ed, Edd n Eddy?
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause all I can think of was when we see the Eds preparing for the day, Double D has this like spindle in his closet where it's all the same hat,
Yep.
but it's different days of the week. I feel like that's what it's like for Darian, but it's robes.
Yep.
Basically, yeah. What you
Oh,
reminded
perfectly
me of was
identical.
his fucking Ed's monogram robe that he wears when he's doing stuff, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I can't read what's on these walls, so we can clearly see, so can we see the fact that, where is it? That there is like a door over here?
Yes, you can see that clearly here is some kind of weird looking wall piece.
Alright. Creed is gonna make his way over to that. Writing on the wall doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, you recognize some of it as Or's looking it over, and you can recognize it being points of history, basically. That this confirms that you're in the right spot. Long story short.
Yeah, the last time he learned about the past, it didn't go very well, so he's had enough life-altering realizations to to fill an entire life.
Now I want one of y'all to eat something random like a whole slide. I mean, that may still happen.
Crows can cook just about anything.
Yeah, I mean, they've eaten weirder shit before. I mean, they fought a giant snake creature that or a donkey kicked to death, and Okro skinned it, filleted it, and cooked it for dinner.
Yep.
I wasn't there for that. I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I think it was like
Just
it
ended
was
up in-
either one of the days you missed it or it was just before you joined.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty much.
think
Yeah, it was
just
before you joined. Yeah.
That was the first of many days that I somehow managed to foil every plan that our lovely DM had.
Yeah, Nameless was still that's right because it was stealing the Book of Wisdom.
All books are books of wisdom.
This was a special book of wisdom. You would have liked this book.
Did it have silence in it as a free cast?
It did not, unfortunately. So, Green and Nez, as you two approach the door,
Not a good start.
It was more of my bake. As you two approach the door, you come across a large stone slab that seems to be a little bit, schmilted. Where it doesn't seem to be sitting quite right in whatever rails it was put together to sit. Itchy. Hold on. Brain. But as you see
brain
that
itchy.
the slab isn't sitting quite right, you can see that there is writing and inscriptions on it. You can see that there is just a gap in it that you can fit through relatively easily. So do you want to investigate the door at all?
That I will do. That Greed would like to take a look at.
Okay. So roll me investigation.
Nez wants to also look at the door.
Yeah, that's an 8.
An 8?
I got a 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
With an 8, you can tell that it is a door. You can tell that it is slightly open. And you can see that it is structurally stable enough for you to walk through. Nez, with a 15, you see that the door is open. Everything that I was explaining to Creed, it has some basic inscriptions, some carvings built into it. Very straightforward. But something else catches your eye. It seems to be some form of some claw marks in the edge of it. And you see a small bone on the ground.
I pick up the bone.
You pick up the bone. And I don't think any of you are anthropologists, so it's going to be, but it's a bone.
No.
Would I be, out of character, would I be able to recognize it if you showed it to me being of the C variety?
Sure. But he'd have to actually bring it back to you. And
Yeah,
know
he'd
about
have to
that.
show it. Yeah, he'd have to show me.
For now, I'm just gonna pick up the bone, look at it, look at the claw marks, and go, Reed, I think we should at least go with caution and show him the claw marks that he did not see, and then the bone.
I'm debating if I do the cliche, like, action hero horror games line or not. You know what? You know what, Mr. DM?
Yuppers.
Roll me a d20. I'm actually asking you to do this because if you roll high, I'll do it. If you roll low, I won't.
Okay. I
What
rolled
you got?
low.
Okay, I won't say it then.
Very good.
I suppose caution would be advised.
Are they going to catch up with us, or?
Yeah.
I believe Aura has some more monologuing to do about being in the water.
Hmm.
Ogros is following.
I'm
Likewise.
meandering slowly. I'm just running, like, or she's running her fingers along the walls as she walks slowly.
Right. So, Darian, as you approach Nez and Creed, you see that they're both looking at this door that seems to have a gap in it. Where the gap, it seems to be almost like an angled opening, as like a piece of the stone kind of like uh didn't slide back into place, or maybe like slid out from an impact. But there's a gap big enough for all of you to pass through. But you see Nez holding something in between his fingers as they're standing at the opening of the door talking between the two of them.
I'm sorry, will you run that last part by me again?
Basically, you see Nez holding a bone, like a small bone in his hand, while he's talking to Creed as they're standing in front of the door.
Mm. I don't really have anything to say or do yet. I'm just going to kind of observe the situation.
That's fine. You're just approaching them. That's all. It's just giving you the lowdown of what you see.
Appreciate it.
What kind of door are we physically dealing with, or what does it appear to be made of?
Breakable materials.
Look, you're biased against doors. You can't
I
chime
thought
in on this.
I thought he said stone.
You know what? Put it in your
That's
notes, Okros. You're
not
biased against doors.
not fair, because last time he didn't do anything to the door. He just knocked the wall down instead.
That's fair.
Because he couldn't
Anyway,
get the door open. No, I think you said stone, didn't you, Ron?
yeah, it is two. Here, I'll draw it. Here, I got.
Well, no. So,
I got a fucking pen. Hang on. We'll do this.
Also,
We'll do this.
to clarify my question, it was more: are they just two big slab doors, or are they two composite doors made of different types of stone?
Basically, it's you got door slab, but then you got bigger
Okay.
stone, and then slabs
Okay.
go
Yeah, no, I
like,
got you. Yeah.
in and out.
I was thinking is if they were just solid slabs, that's one thing, but if they're composites, that means I don't want to say effort was put into it, but that's kind of the best way to put it.
Basically, it looks like
Different.
two slabs that kind of slide into the wall, like they
Yeah,
just
no, I got
push.
you.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. Oh, I don't have any more left. Never mind. Guess Creed is just going to lead the way in.
All right. So, Nez, I imagine you pocket the bone.
Yeah.
All right.
I might as I walk in slowly though at first, following, I'm still looking at it, and then probably a few steps on in, then I pocket it.
Fair enough. So, Creed, you step through the gap, and you can tell that it is dark as shit beyond this door, as you're in a stone structure underwater. There is a very faint glow, but it seems to be from strange mushrooms and algae that have kind of grown in here from the water coming in and draining out. Whether during its submersion or some time period before now, it's hard to tell. You're not a botanist or a biologist, but there is a faint glow. It is extremely faint where you would need to have superior dark vision to see anything beyond a few feet in front of you. So torches would probably be needed or some form of light source.
Can Lucifer be the torch?
Does he have something to make a light source? I know he does, but I'm like, you gotta give me some to work
the
with.
Flamethrower.
There you go.
The flamethrower.
Yeah, no, I'm going to immediately put the kibosh on that one.
I'm just saying, if he pulls out a flamethrower, I need to look away for a second because I do have superior dark vision. I don't want to get blinded.
So do I.
All I can think of though is all the people who have died in ancient ruins from gas buildups. I can only imagine what a building sealed to the bottom of the ocean is going to have inside of it.
Who's to say?
Lucifer walks past a doorway and it's full of methane. We immediately will burn to death.
I mean, mayhaps.
Creed's going to stop and glance over his shoulder. Does no one have a spare torch?
Do any of us have torches?
I used to have torches.
Don't
And
have
then we
a
used
use
them
for them
all.
personally, so I don't carry them. Sorry.
I do have a torch. 9 apparently. I'm gonna pull one out of my backpack and give it to Creed.
Very good.
He's going to hold out to Lucifer, if you wouldn't mind.
And Lucifer will light the torch for him.
Creed's going to pat Lucifer on the head. And then turn around and continue walking.
You remember that Lucifer is no longer small. He's about your height.
I know.
All right.
Still a principle of the matter.
I mean, I knew you were still doing it, but it was just remember, you're not patting a dog. It's you're patting a person.
Look, it doesn't matter if it's a puppy or if it's the full-size Saint Bernard. They still like head pats.
That, you know what? You got me on that one, bud. You got me on that one.
Also, it now has a flamethrower at my back, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it happy.
I want to get
And
patted.
some sort of blade weapon.
I used to carry a torch when I was an adventurer like you, then I realized I can cast light. Yeah. I wonder when someone's going to realize, because I know someone in this party has the light spell.
I have guiding bolt. I don't think that's the same thing.
It's
Devil's
not.
Sight. I don't need it.
Shush your face over
That's
there.
just... It's firing a single-use flare down the hallway, and I don't know what I'm going to hit. The last time I tried to hit something, I killed an innocent person.
I don't have a light spell.
I certainly showed him the light.
Yeah, I did.
Flame blade.
Certainly showed
I showed him that
him
flash
the light.
before death. Turns out it was my guiding bolt.
Yeah, I don't have a light spell either, except for Wall of Light. I'm not casting that here.
I have flame
Wow,
blade.
Wow, I guess, all right, fuck. I guess it was, all right, I mean, it must have been someone else. Fuck.
I had a light spell and I got rid of it.
You were thinking of past aura.
Yeah. I had Wall of Light. is what I had. Or create light or something like that.
Yay.
But yeah, no, so the vision is currently better than mine because apparently I see as if it's dim light and everything's gray.
Well, let me put Lucifer back on the board. There he is.
Yep, no. Darkness is if it were dim light, you discern colors in that darkness. It's only shades of gray. So I guess I'm looking at 50 Shades of Gray, guys.
Thankfully, I also have dark vision.
Don't do anything with the fact that I have a torch. But
I've
I'll
caught
keep.
up to.
Do we have any rooms off of this path we're taking?
Well, I was gonna get to that point once you guys were all done with your exposition,
caught-
moving into the exploration phase.
I've caught up to them now. I'm like slightly. Yeah.
So, as you look forward, I will classify these secondaries rooms in a gray color. So, as you shine the torch ahead of you and you kind of look down the pathway, you see that there are three pathways ahead of you, all with very strange stone doors, kind of either angled or cracked on it.
Can I investigate the doors to see if there's anything written on them as to what those doors were? You know how like some places have like boiler room and whatnot on their doors.
No, there is no writing on these doors.
Okay.
When you say they're like, we could walk through them.
You could probably move them to walk through them. These look like more movable doors instead of sliding doors.
And how about this one? Are we able to see in as they are now?
Yes. Some of them are slightly ajar.
Hang on a second.
A question I have while he's thinking. Can I see any like claw scratches like I did on the previous door on these?
Yes, you can. You can see them on this one.
I'm gonna go stand like right by that door since that's where I saw it.
Creed is going to hold up a hand to play to stop. It's time for me to imitate a character from pop culture.
Chibicus, did you
And solve
ask me, is it a door or a jar? It's an ajar door.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Creed has 2 new rations, but not 13 years old. Creed is going to open one and throw it into that room.
Okay. You toss it into the room, and you hear it hit something wet. Like a puddle of water.
Do you hear anything else?
You hear, is it mahogany? No, it's stone. We've talked about this. You hear that beyond the splash of water from the ration bar landing inside, the only thing you hear is kind of a creaking of stone blocks rubbing against each other, the shifting of weight of a structure, and drips of water kind of hitting wet stone.
Well, I I just was looking at my spells. I have Sunbeam.
I mean, that's kind of overkill for what you're trying to do here.
That would be roughly on par with casting Wall of Light to light this area. It would be a ridiculous waste,
Yeah.
yes.
We need to be able to see we're not treating this like it's Hiroshima or Nagasaki in 1945.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So Creed's gonna give like make eye contact with Nez and give him a thumbs up, pointing out the room.
This is not
I was gonna
spaghetti.
walk just slightly around Creed so that I could see down the hallway and see if I could see anything.
So as you step around Creed and kind of put your eyes down range to see what's going on with your superior dark vision, you see the ration bar sitting in a shallow pool of water. And you clearly
water.
now, as you're closer to it, this kind of swinging stone door, you can see these deep claw marks in the stone, but you can just see the ration bar just kind of floating in the water. And then down the hall, you see that the hall goes down a little bit more to another door here. And that's just you looking straight down the hallway without any other light source.
Can I see if the door is open or closed at the end of the hallway?
That is a little bit outside of your superior dark vision range. But as you can kind of see with the rest of the doors around you have been kind of knocked ajar, you can assume that it may be open.
I did not want to grab that. No. Stop. Move the screen. I think I just moved one of your hallways. I apologize.
It's all right. I'll fix. I fix. Stop touch.
Okay. So from where I'm at, that's 60 feet. 1 second. Let me recheck my notes. Devil sight. Yeah. Sir, you're going to have to give me a little more than that. I can see 120 feet in spirit in darkness.
Your superior gives you 120?
Devil sight, not just
Oh,
superior
devil
darkness.
sight. Okay, right. Yes, devil sight. Okay, yeah, then yes, with your devil sight, you'd be able to see that this door is slightly ajar. And then
Sorry about that. Thank you.
you can tell that that room, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting rows. It opens up into another room here.
All right, so I'm going to tell the others. I can see down the hallway. I don't see anything hostile. There appears to be another room at the end of the hallway that seems to be fairly decent in size, but I can't really make out if anything's in there yet. Also, Creed, your candy is just floating in water.
It's not candy, first of all. Second, it served its purpose. What about the other hole?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, since I'm already standing basically in the center of the room, check the other directions as well.
I'm fixing something.
You're good.
All right, so you're looking down east hallway or north hallway?
I plan to check both, so just whichever order you'd like.
So we'll start with this one. So this one, you see that it opens up into fuck. No, stop it. It opens up into a small room, and the northern one seems to open into a left-hand turn. There.
All of the hallways appear to be empty. You said the one to the right of us is east? Sorry, this one?
Yes, that's the east. It's easterly.
Okay, that. Oh shit, that all stays there, doesn't it?
It
Oops.
opens up into fuck. It opens up into left. Yeah, I meant to say right turn, not left hand. I was drawing and speaking at the same time. Squeeze.
The hall to our east appears to just immediately go into a large room, and I can't see anything after a certain point to the north because the hallway turns.
Yes. This one you can kind of
No,
see
that
into the
was
room.
telling Creed that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Very good.
Also, I scribbled all over your eastern room. Apologies. Still trying to learn how to use Owlbear correctly.
Yes.
Right click gives you the.
Oh. Okay, now I'm gonna go wave my rave light around.
Or do you propose we split up in groups of 2? This is obviously
I feel-
counting Lucifer.
I feel that the last thing we need to do is split up and search for clues of where we have to go.
I think since it's ending in what appears to be just an open room, we should check the east hallway first.
Didn't you say one of the other 2 was also just an open room?
It appears that way. The door is only ajar, so I can't see the entirety of it from here.
Well, this is also much closer.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna skip towards the room straight ahead that Adarian says is just an open room.
I
mean,
would.
I'm okay
I would
with Aura
wait a
going
second.
first.
I would definitely wait.
What am I waiting for?
Nez is concerned that we need to be cautious. And I see no reason, nor particularly any intent why we should not be prudent with our security.
I'm just
So,
gonna quirk my eyebrow and look at you, Creed and Nez, and be like, why are we being cautious? What do you know that we don't?
I'm just gonna point at the claw marks.
You just make them a very obvious.
Like, waving hands, going, "Do you not see this?"
something clearly was either living here before or is potentially still living here. So we must be careful. And
Well-
Creed's gonna like kind of sidestep around or head forward with the torch. Also,
can
good
I
measure, got it for the shield.
can I investigate the claw marks to see if I can decipher what kind of creature they could be from?
Give me. What is the word? Nature. Give me nature.
Nature.
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta refresh my D&D Beyond because it's being a poo-poo head. It's doing that thing again. Where
Oh yeah.
I got a 17. Hello? Oh God. Why are you doing this to me?
Do you want me to roll it for you?
No, I rolled it. I got a 17. Did it not
Oh.
come through?
I just didn't hear you say it. But yeah,
Oh,
for
so
a
yeah, my
17,
distance being
you would see that
stupid.
this is definitely from some type of predatory creature. It's not big enough to be a dragon, even a warbling. But the deep gouges tell you that it is a very strong creature. But you can't really tell much else from it, but you do see something that Nez may have skipped over, is that there's a very strange staining around the edges of these cuts into the stone.
And I'll be able to decipher what the staining is.
You can assume the staining is some kind of blood or something that had gotten stuck into it from what was happening. You can tell that the staining is not like other blood you've seen, where you've seen other creatures above that have had mostly red blood to purple because they're oxygen based. You know, they're not like fish that have like very deep purple blood or blue blood or green like crustaceans. But here you're seeing this like deep blue, almost green color, which puts you in a state of unease. Because being a sea elf, you would know that this isn't normal. But then as you're kind of following these gouges, you kind of follow them around the edge of the door. And as you look on the back of the door leading into the hallway, you see that there is just a large splotch of crimson staining.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to look at the guys and be like, well, whatever it is nothing I've seen before. However, Nez was right. We do need to be cautious. As y'all either didn't know what it was or overlooked it, there's a blue-green blood surrounding these claw marks. It is nothing I am familiar with, so it is something that is not of the sea variety, so it's something that does not belong here. And this giant crimson splotch on the back of this door makes me think that possibly something or someone was hiding behind the door and met their demise.
Or as you step around the door to kind of show them the red splotch, as you describe the blue-green color, you realize that you correct yourself saying that it is something from the sea, and that's what makes you wary. Because you know the monsters that live under the water tend to have this stranger color.
Oh, I
Especially,
misunderstood you.
yes, it's not a land-based creature that left these marks.
Okay, I
Or left
misunderstood
those
you. I thought you were
stains.
saying it was.
No,
I thought you were
no,
saying it was.
no. It
Okay.
is something from under the water. But that red splotch does kind of show you something weird. But as you step around the side of the door, you feel something crunch under your feet.
Oh, I'm gonna look down. What am I looking at?
You see a long bone under your foot. And as you stepped on it, it cracked in half.
Is it just the one bone I've cracked that I
Yes,
see, or
it is the one
there
bone you
others?
see and cracked.
Okay, can I
Someone needs more
investigate
milk
to
in the
see?
diet.
Can I investigate to see if I can identify what it belonged to, or if it was a
Sure.
person,
Roll me
another animal?
investigation.
Betsky. I got 8. Really?
It is a bone that belongs to a land-dwelling creature. That's all you can figure out.
Well, I am familiar with land-based creatures. I may know what hunt this was from.
I'm gonna pick it up and show, well, both pieces and show them to Okros.
He's probably cooked it.
He's probably cooked it.
Well, considering I rolled an 16 before my bonuses, yes, probably. So what would that be, a survival or investigation or?
If you're looking at food stuff, I would say survival.
Okay, so dirty 20 then.
Cool. So with that, you can tell that this is not a creature you've cooked before, but you have seen this person or this thing before.
I've seen this person before. What the
I've
hell?
seen. Hold on.
This was Frank.
You can tell this is not something that you have eaten or cooked before, because it seems to be something that throws you off, because it looks very similar to the bone structure of Nez, but also doesn't seem to be a changeling bone. It's something that doesn't seem to fit your encyclopedia of knowledge. It's like something you haven't seen before.
It's a Super NES.
Franklin Furter. Shush, Els.
Oh my god. Not Franklin Furter. Well, this is most peculiar. Likely belonging to somebody who tried to explore this before us. It's not bode well.
Nez, you see the bone that's in Okros's hands, and you imagine it matches the bone that you have in your pocket.
I was actually just about to say I'd take the bone out of my pocket and like go to see if it matches.
And you can tell that the form and striations matches, and it doesn't make you feel good, because you're starting to understand that this is not a bone structure that you have seen before. Like, these bones match, but they don't belong to anything you've seen.
I want to just say like a cold chill basically just goes down Nez's spine. Like not being sure of this is just like kind of like creeping him out and wanting to stay extra cautious.
So, where do you guys go now? What do?
I feel like we should continue the direction we were going, but cautiously. What do you guys think?
Play one room at a time. Safest bet. Increase the odds of us finding the crystal.
We do gotta find the crystal.
Gria's going to deploy the shield, and with the torch in one hand, the shield in the other, go down the hallway towards the big room.
So you're going to be taking north, south, or east?
We're headed east.
You're heading east. Very good. So as you push easterly, you come across a door that just kind of smoshes open, and as you push it open, you come into a small chamber that seems to have a pathway going north here. And then another hallway going that way.
Well then, it is not one big room.
I got another
There's 2 more
hydrate, guys. I gotta
pathways
go
off
get
of
more
this.
fucking water now. You guys have made me burn through 32 ounces in a fucking second, bastards.
That's nothing.
needed
Keep
it.
going. Stay hydrated.
I've drank 4 of them today so far.
Stay hydrated.
Castel.
Get your water on.
Castel. 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 Jenna. So. Okay, fine. I guess since that's the game we're gonna be playing today. Well,
I just
I
care
have
about
to
your
go.
well-being.
Guys, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. It is 11 13 hydrates. Dude, it's 15 now because I have to do it in Clint's voice. 17. 19. 22 hydrates.
You know, you can put them on cooldown, right, where we can't redeem it.
I didn't think I'd have to, but he's no. Now I need it. All right, fine. Fuck it. I gotta go. No.
Think water.
Well,
As
now I gotta
Cass said.
fucking. Fine. I'm gonna have to go do this. You guys get to entertain fucking chat or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
We are chat.
Shut the fuck up. Entertain. Entertain.
I don't know what to do.
I guess we dance.
I have a paid
I'm-
job. I don't work for free.
I'm
If you
laying on the
talk-
bed in my hotel room. My mouse, my wireless mouse, and a notebook is a mouse pad, but my computer is on the back of the couch.
My grade
Plugged
12
into the
yearbook is
wall.
my mouse pad.
I'm lying around my shelf.
I mean, if you talk, your little character dances on screen, so I guess we're dancing.
I wasn't invited to my 10-year high school reunion. That still kind of upsets
I
me.
didn't. We didn't have one. Nobody wanted to
I
organize
wasn't
it.
even invited.
I
Apparently
actually
they
got
had it.
invited to the one I didn't graduate at
What?
because I moved in the
How does
middle
that
of high
work out?
school.
Cass
Oh.
is
So-
daddy. Cass is
I
daddy.
was curious, so I looked it up, and they had it. They didn't invite me. But-
Cass's goober.
It kind of.
I think we all goobers.
I am not a goober.
Yeah, you
I
are.
mean, oral practice is gooberism.
I'm worse than a goober. That's why I said I'm not a goober.
No, that is seriously Aura's religion is gooberism. I did it for the meme,
Ugh.
and then it just kind of stuck.
God, he's worse than a goober. He's a goofy goober.
He's got his own theme song.
Dude.
Damn.
I'll be honest. I feel so old when I look things up.
Didn't we establish that you were the youngest one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still feel. Okay, so whenever I go like places for work, I try not to eat at chains. I can do that anytime. I went to Texas Roadhouse for a steak, and they had like country music videos up on one of the TVs.
Mhm,
Oh man, I
as-
remember that. I remember that video. Remember that came out. I looked it up and I was like, oh fuck, that was 2009.
What video was it?
That was Billy Currington. I got a feeling.
Okay. Yeah, that was 5 years before I
Oh,
graduated.
I was like, wow. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that on TV.
Right? I graduated in 2014.
Same.
From high
Yeah.
school or college?
High school.
High school.
Hmm.
I'm only
Graduated college the following year.
Sits
I'm only
over here
29.
recalling graduating in 2010 and just kind of like tugging at the collar of his shirt, like,
Yeah, no. I'm
Over
only
here at
29.
08,
You guys graduated?
tugging.
Yeah.
All right,
You all.
I'm back. You
We're discussing
monsters.
how everybody is old.
I now have 5 liters of water here next to me. You
Dehydrated.
actual monsters.
I was expecting you to come back with like the thing they put on top of one of those water dispensers that you just put the cup under and pull the thing. Just the entire jug. You did
This is
not
a
bring
really,
enough water. Go
really
get
long
more.
straw.
Just get fish tubing.
Damn, he's killing it though. Look at him go.
And F him.
Chug, 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 chug,
Oh.
chug. Cass,
Wait, pretty
Cass,
sure he has an emote for this.
Cass, do your thing. Keep redeeming the.
Thank you,
Okay.
Stella. That was a full 32 down the hatch. All right. Oh, God. I'm all gurgly.
Okay, on to our sewer slide mission.
Now we all feel like we're drowning underwater.
Yeah, thank you. No, hold on. I gotta take a fucking second. Hang on.
I was about to say, where were we before the assassination attempt?
Cass, I fucking swear to God. I will throw you into the sun.
Well, where were we? Rita just mentioned the fact that it is in fact not just a big room.
Hold on. I'm fucking just fucking.
The worst part is she's just gonna give herself back all of those points.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna have to happen.
You know what? I was just about to hit complete also. That couldn't happen for you.
No, I just turned it the fuck off. There. They're just off now. They're just
As
off
your
now.
mod, doesn't she have?
There's
Doesn't
no
she have the
channel
power to?
redemptions now.
Doesn't
No,
she have the
this-
power to turn it back on as your
It's the
mod?
hydrate.
No, it's you have to be an editor to turn the rewards on and off. So, but as a mod, yeah, she can redeem the points. And I did drink water. I drank a lot of it. I drink fucking 64 ounces since I started sitting down here working on this shit and then streaming. My God. Don't drown
You just
me.
missed them chug a bottle.
You just let me did it. I peed before I came down to chug the damn water because I knew it was going to hit my system once I started. Look, I'm thinking outside the cube. It is the drowned gate. I didn't miss it. I watched. Here,
Dehydrated.
you know what, Cass? Because I am still on clam time. This one's for you, Cass. Daddy, sorry. There. Does that chuckle your loins, you demon cat? Fuck. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, you don't want me to call you daddy in this voice, Cass? Is that not what you want? You're gonna sit here and torment me while I'm doing my things, making me drink 128 ounces of water in a single sitting. Daddy, sorry. No, Cass, come back.
Okay, back to the scary room.
Fuck you, Zoe. Loophole, motherfucker.
So
So you enter the room. You enter the room. and you find that there is nothing much here. Some vases, some vases, some brazier, nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to trying to distinguish the situation or possible danger that may lie whilst amongst the rubble that is here in this room. You see
If I
that
get
there
a zero, I
is-
hope I don't need smearing copper.
you do see that there is some water in the center along the lines of something much akin to a deep, I would not say stream, but it's definitely flooded. Well, the interior of this here room is, of course, very wet. And amongst this water, you see there are a number of boxes. Or not boxes, but some form of stone containers of sort that seems to have been placed prehensively, rambunctiously during the sinking of the ship. Well, it's not to say ship, I mean, you know, of course, the city itself, the temple, etc. And you see there is a door to your east and a door to your north.
And I'm stuck in the middle.
Stuck in the middle with you, goddammit.
Well, I'm gonna go in the room because a little water never hurt nobody.
All right, move your token.
I moved my token.
As you step into the water of the room, you begin to hear the splishy splashy of your feet. As your feet enter the room. A bot! Kill him! Very good. As you enter the room, Aura, and you step into the water comes up to about your knees. And it makes you seem to have a harder time. And it's just difficult to move. As you slowly walk through it, you begin to hear splishy splashies through the water as little stones fall from the ceiling. Pieces of what look to be botanical vines, now growing amongst the water freely, seem to move as something shifts. Nothing shakes, of course, but just something gently shifts enough that some vines swing through the water in the darkness, catching you by surprise as you continue moving towards the doors.
I want to open one of the boxes. Are they openable?
The stone cubes.
Oh, you said boxes.
I did say boxes at first, and I remembered where we were. Boxes don't make sense here.
Okay, well, I wait for my compatriots to decide they want to walk into the water. Are you guys coming, or am I going this alone?
Bye.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and look at it, Darian. I never knew you to be scared.
Don't do water. Have fun.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble. Drowned gate means water. Would you think we were walking
Well-
into a field of daisies?
For that, we shall have to
We didn't
partially
walk
agree
into
to
anything.
disagree.
Crash landed. I never had a say in this.
It's up to my knees, and I'm shorter than all of you. You'll be fine.
In before she steps into a pothole.
Right?
I'm just gonna pinch the bridge of my nose and just shake my head while I stand here and wait for them to decide they're sort of knee-height water. Every time I have gone anywhere alone.
So from where I'm standing right now, I can tell that I can probably see into that hallway across the room. So I'd like to try and see what's as far as I can in that direction.
You see that this hallway here goes a smidge further down.
And then turns.
It goes to about here, and then goes a ka-chunk.
So let me get this straight, gentlemen. Every time I've gone off on my own, you guys have gotten spicy with me for doing so. And
Look,
now, because there's water involved, you don't want to come and want
look,
me to go by
I'm trying to
myself.
balance the knowledge if I leave you alone, you're gonna do something dumb. But at the same time, I also want to
Water.
be able to clear these rooms so we can find what we're looking for and not deal with whatever else is down here.
And
So
judging by the shade of blue, I feel like the water gets deeper the farther we go.
and I still can't swim.
Likewise.
I feel like the deep water is where we need to go, though, is the problem.
I feel like that's just where you want to go because you're able to. You're not dragging us into drowning because of that. Sorry.
I don't want you to drown. Am I a monster?
Or a comeback.
I'm just gonna roll
We're
my
going to
eyes and
go
walk back.
around.
I'm gonna roll my eyes and walk back towards them because I'm not gonna venture off on my own because that never ends well.
Yeah, Kreda's going to double back and take the path to the north.
Can someone move me? My owl bear is being a pain in my ass.
All right, Blackburn. As you push through into the northern hallway, you see that it seems to just have a number of broken things in different places. Nothing of extraneous contingencies or anything that really sticks out as a problem, but something that just kind of makes you feel uneasy. Much like in the other room, you see that there are vines and such kind of growing along these walls that seem to stretch from just different cracks and such. Imagining that either the seeds or sproutlings kind of lodge themselves into the stone, and due to the human nature of this structure, seem to just grow without abandon. And as you continue down this hall, you see that in here there are some kind of what used to be wooden crates. As the weights or the water and the air seem to slowly eat away at the boxes, leaving the metal items inside to rust. And as you hit this corner here, you see a unmistakable human skull in the corner.
Interesting.
Well, there's the other part of one of the previous adventurers.
At this rate, we'll have a matching set.
Well, we can either keep going and see what left that possibly, or we can try the third hallway. I'm just here. Y'all decide where we going.
Kreda's gonna keep going down. He's gonna take the turn down the hallway too.
I'm gonna follow pretty close to Creed while he's leading,
I'm
just in case I
following
can
them
spot
as
something
well.
he misses.
All right, just scoot your token so I know who's looking where and what's doing what.
Creed. Oh, Creed is ahead because he took the turn. Did we lose Creed? Did his
Nope.
hotel? Okay.
Nope. I'm just sitting here thinking.
All right, so Creed, as you look down the hallway with your torch and your eyes, I need to reset the color on this drawing tool because it's being the stupid. There we go. Hi, Chikao. You can see that it stretches this way, and you can kind of see that there's a corner cut to the right. Otherwise, down this hallway, you can see it's more of those same kind of rotted crates with metallic items inside that seem to be rusted. Darian, you can clearly see that all the way down. Oh, excuse me. Brings to another right turn.
It looks as though if we follow this hall to the end, Creed, we might be able to bypass the flooded room. Or we just might find a sunken a flooded hallway, rather.
So it looks like either way, there's water involved. Who would have thought?
We still have a third path to take.
You don't think that's gonna lead out? Well, you know what? You guys lead the way. I'm just gonna reach up on my shoulder and scratch my dragon's head.
What do you guys want to do? What's your plan?
Well, guess head down and check out the 2 new pathways we found. One of which we already really knew about.
All right, so Darian and Creed, as you guys hit that T intersection, you see that there's a hallway leading down towards the flooded room. You see there's a number of fallen stones keeping the water in that central room and not down the hallway towards you. You see that the hallway continues down to your east to a right-hand turn going what looks to be south.
Do we continue on, gentlemen?
Do have one pathway left rather than just heading down the water.
We want to double back and try the third.
Indeed, they all lead to the same place. Rather good indicator. So individually, well, we secure those paths too.
All right, let's go then.
And you do see that as you continue to move down the hallway, that there are more bones kind of left around both sides of this hallway, kind of scattered. Nothing composited such as like a whole arm or whole leg, just like either broken long bones or smaller bones kind of just left behind. And they all seem to be relatively far spaced from each other, as if just kind of carried or misplaced, dropped, etc.
Lead the way, Creed. Which way are we going? Are we continuing? Oh, we're doubling back. Okay.
Gotta find where the last path leads.
A room.
Well, the last 2 times we thought that we found new paths, so
No, there's literally a room already down there. But I'm assuming there's
Same
probably
points.
another path off of the room.
We have to
That's what I'm
explore.
guessing.
So,
Don't
Creed,
forget
as you
the
step
candy
into,
bars we're going through here.
yes, I was gonna say, Creed, as you step through, you can see that your action bar is on the floor as it was before, for you to retrieve easily. Your torch lights up the fact that there are some small rooms, as you can imagine, off either side at equal distance from each other and equal length down from each other. Almost like bunk rooms or something of that nature. They seem to have some kind of stone bed jutting out from the side. The rooms are very Spartan, where they were about 15 feet deep, 5 foot wide. You could assume that these were either crew quarters, guard quarters. It's hard to tell, but as you kind of look through these dry rotted curtains and these broken pieces of stone, you can see that there are a number of bones in these different rooms, and you're seeing full rib cages, halves of spines, pelvises, connected femurs, connected humeruses to shoulders. That whoever was here, you're seeing about what you could assume to be 2 to 3 people worth of bones in each room. So this looks like where whoever they were may have been where they were ambushed, however long ago it was before this temple sank.
Creed's gonna keep going.
And Aura's gonna follow.
And you come across a slightly ajar door here. It is a swinging door, much like the other ones you've run into. And as you kind of can poke your head in here, you'll see that there are a couple of different pathways leading off. You have 2 leading from your east. You have one wide one leading to your west, and you have one off-center one that's a little bit tighter leading to the south.
I'm guessing the ones to the east link up with the big room of the previous hallway over there leads to. Sorry.
I'm
The
assuming.
one to our west probably leads to whatever pathway used to be the foyer. The offset one has me intrigued, though.
I feel like
Places
the
like
big
this
boy.
are usually straight. Off center means potentially something happened after the fact to cause them to build that.
The big boy path, yeah, leads back towards the Valkyrie, like the one going to the west. I feel like that would lead back outside to the wet place that you guys don't want to go.
Well, I don't
Or it
think one of
leads
us.
to the stone. Canadarian Sea.
I mean, Derry can see the same rooms here. He'd have to go and make sure that the rooms are open and such like that he can look through. So you also need to tell me what you're going to do first, because what I've given you is basically what you can see passively.
I'm thinking we head for the northeast passage and see what we can see till the end. I'm gonna guess it's a big room.
What, here?
No, northeast. So I'm assuming the top one over here, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this one. I
You can
move back
see
to the
that
couch.
you can see that this door is more closed than open. It's hard to tell why it's closed. It doesn't seem that it was recently moved or adjusted or changed. It just seems like it was there. Adarian, what do you do?
I'm going to ask Nez to come over and investigate this door before I mess with it.
As I come over because of a Darren called, I take a look at the door and see if there's any issues with it, as in like traps or anything. So,
Roll me
investigate.
investigation.
Uh, 22.
All right, so you can see that this door is not trapped, or that it's no longer trapped. It looks like that at one point it was hastily shut and wedged shut. As you can see that the edges are cracked and fractured at certain points. There are claw marks around the edge where whatever was in here causing a problem was trying to rip through this door, rip it open, push it open, something along the line. It wanted it no longer closed. And as you kind of check on it, it just kind of swings open away from you, as even the craftsmanship of these doors seem to still kind of keep to their old ways. But you hear a splash further down this hallway as you open the door, almost as if like something leapt into water.
Did you hear that?
I was trying really hard to pretend I didn't.
Hey, what?
Exactly.
Oh, hell, what?
I mean,
A splash.
Yeah, Anna's structure has been underwater for quite some time. I'd venture to guess that structural integrity is not exactly a strength.
and I mean, there is a murder sea creature potentially somewhere in here, but that's besides the point.
Probably Creed did scoop up his ration bar.
So if the door is open now, how far into this room can I see?
120, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what's all there? Sorry.
All right, so Darren, you're looking down the hall now. Yes?
Yes.
So you see with your special eyeballs. Thank you, Lumos Maximum, Miss Carson, for the 69 bits. Busy night, can't stay. Happy Friday, yes. Carson has a special assignment. She's working on the CVICU tonight. So
Nice.
she's got a lot of work and not enough hands for it to do with.
I can relate.
You see down this hallway that it does stretch outward towards that back end and seems to connect with a left hand and a right hand turn. But you can see that there is a pocket right here that is full of water.
This hallway, Creed, appears to go down to a connecting point, a kind of T-bone intersection, I guess I'd describe it as. There appears to be a section just before that that looks like it's just a pool of deep water, as though a part of the hallway was cut into just to make this access point into deep water. I don't know if I'd be comfortable going any further this way. This seems like a good spot to get ambushed.
If I had to guess, more than likely that was perhaps a staircase. Something like that. But
Do we want to check the southeastern hallway before we continue?
I'm going to guess it intersects with the far hallway too.
My
But
hope
why
is
not?
that it doesn't also have a trap intersection, which is what I'm going to, like you said, assume that is.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Okros,
Is
how far can you throw?
how far do you need?
About where that water is down there, but how far down would you say that is, Darion?
Sorry, I reflexively moved when you mentioned throwing. I'm not getting yeeted at anything. It's 60 feet into the hole.
About 60 feet. You move all you want, or you're not getting thrown.
Better safe than sorry. I also don't want to be in his way when he goes chucking things.
Free's gonna hold out his open ration bar to Okros.
That ration bar is getting some serious mileage.
I will aim for the pool of water to throw it.
I would recommend the hallway in front of it. If there's something in there, I'd rather it has to come out.
Fair. Then I will aim for the floor in front.
Wonderful.
And do I need to roll, or is this just a
Just
throw?
athletics. You're
Okay.
probably gonna pass it, but it's just for the sake of having the stat.
Yeah, that is fair. I always forget what my fucking bonuses are until I look at them again.
Something fucking insane.
Are you rolling down a
Yeah.
96 to throw it?
If only.
Someone get this man a
Athletics
custom
is
D20 where each side just says I win.
25.
All right, very good. Yeah, you easily
Sorry.
just underhand chuck the ration bar wherever you want it towards that hole, and as it lands, you hear it kind of skitter across the stone and stop. As you're all just kind of waiting and watching. And nothing seems to happen for a minute as you're all just kind of looking down it and keeping your eye around everything else around you. What's everyone's passive perception?
Oh,
20.
16.
14.
How do I determine this?
I got a 15.
It should be on the left side of your character sheet. It's auto-calculated. It's like below your skill checks.
Under the saving throws.
Yeah.
Says
Oh.
box is labeled senses.
Passive is 19.
Okay.
You did say a perception, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, 20.
So those who have above a 15, you would hear a splash of water as you see a hand come out and grab the ration bar before it disappears back into the water. The rest of you would not notice it.
And
Well,
I want to go see it, but if I leave them, they get mad.
what? Something happened?
I want to play a game, but if we have concerns, she gets bitchy.
Did
Out of
anybody?
context, Creed,
Did
what did you
something
say your
happen?
passive perception was?
15.
He
He said if
it
it
was
was
a
higher than 15.
Yeah,
Ah,
he didn't see it.
okay. Then back in
So
context. Something just
Darian and
reached
I
out and
saw.
snatched your ration bar. I hope it wasn't one of the valuable ones.
Kriya's gonna very explicitly point. That is why you know something.
So
Well,
Darian and
I
I
didn't
saw
see
it.
it. Wait, where did the ration bar go?
It was
Something
Something
human.
took it.
with a 5-fingered hand reached out of the water and grabbed it and drug it back into the water.
Of it. Yeah.
I
Can
say hand. Hand
confirm.
is a very general word. Claw. Let's call it a claw.
Can confirm there was. Yep.
From down the hallway, all you hear is
It's gonna be
Basically.
some kind of.
It'd be back in the water, sir.
It's gonna be a mermaid of sorts. That's my out of character prediction. And
See, I've already said what my out of character prediction was in chat a couple times, but
Mm-hmm.
I have one word. Mirelurk.
so my out of character prediction is that it's going to be Sahagwin or Sawak. I can never say their fucking name. The creature from the Black Lagoon
Sahagwin.
with
Yeah,
spears.
kind of. That's kind of how you say it.
Okay.
Well, what I'm going to recommend you do, we check the other path and find out if there's another one of those.
alright. Let's
Water
check the
pits.
southeast. Check the southeast.
We find out there's 2 of them. Then we check the southernmost path. There's 3.
You figure we're probably just surrounded by these water pits.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
I agree with your assessment.
As an out of
Mhm.
character guess, by the way.
This is
So-
yeah, of course. This is absolutely seeming like we are in a big room just surrounded by a trap or I shouldn't say trap, ease of access points for creatures that are water friendly.
So as you look down this hallway here, you see that it kind of goes down and then takes a right. But you can see it that it has these little closets here and here with slightly ajar doors.
Man, he's not gonna let us see the water pits now. We have to go up and risk getting yoinked and check in closets with doors. That was all out of context, by the way.
Well, Darian, what do you see?
I don't see a pit of water in this one. The hallway rather goes a little further and curves to the right. There are 2 what appear to be smaller rooms before that, but the doors are ajar and I can't see into them from here.
Do we check them or do we check the other 2 passages first as well?
May as well check the other 2 at this point.
At least get a better lay of the land before we decide to press forward. I agree.
Alright, let's go to the southern one then.
We.
So as you look into the south door, you can see that it is leading down into what looks to be a shallow part of water. And as the hallway continues, it goes another 40 feet as the water seems to become deeper, up to about knee height. These also seem to have a couple of these weird cubby rooms off the side before it reaches the end of it, where hold on, that's
Out of context,
to a
actually, I have a
section.
question, Ara. Do you have any kind of racial feat or class feat for being able to move easily in water?
Oh yeah, my swimming is equal to my walking.
That's not what I mean. That I'm not talking about swimming. I'm talking about walking in.
Does
what's,
water be
like,
counted
like
as difficult terrain for you or not? Is the question he's
that?
willing to ask.
I don't think so. Uno momento, por favor.
Yeah. Because let me not say no. I assume for the rest of us moving through these deeper parts, it's going to be difficult terrain that could prove very challenging for us if we end up in a fight, especially an ambush.
I don't see anything. Like I'm looking at the D&D 5e wiki dot. I don't see anything about movement speed in water.
Yeah, it's essentially if the water is knee height, it's considered difficult. And then if it's deep enough for you to swim in, then you use your swim speed instead of you can use either your walk or your swim speed.
Which
Yeah.
means I'm going to assume if you don't have anything in your feats that says otherwise, you have the same movement speed penalty that we would in difficult.
Where do I see feats?
Your features, hold on, let me.
Features and traits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Proficiencies, animal handling, nature.
It would likely be near the bottom under your species traits.
I'm looking at that right now.
Basically,
I don't think so.
your swim speed normally, unless it
Yeah.
says otherwise, is half of your movement speed because
My
it takes you longer. You, Miss Sea Druid, because you are a sea elf, have
Yeah.
the same because you're proficient in swimming, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. So I would say in that instance that you don't get slowed down moving through water because you grew up in it.
Yeah.
That would be the same thing as if you were looking at like an octopus has a swim speed and a movement speed, but they're about this, like its speed on land is a sixth of what its swimming speed is.
Yeah.
Because in
My
water it moves better because it's proficient.
So to explain why I'm concerned about it, I'm assuming not for you based off what he just explained, but for the rest of us, if for example we end up in a fight,
you're
where we normally
dragged
have
down
30
by the
feet of
water.
movement,
Yeah.
we would only have 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad times ahead. Would like to check other rooms first before we commit to this one.
Okay. You want to check that third hallway? The thick boy?
Does that hallway have a door, by the way?
Which one?
The one to the west, the very large one?
This one has a large set of double doors, sliding doors, much like the one you came in through.
I actually don't think I want to open that. What do you think, Creed?
I would recommend against it personally.
Judging the direction it faced and the fact that it
Yeah,
probably
it
connects
looks
to the
like it.
outside,
Yeah.
like a courtyard or something, or what used to be a courtyard.
That'd be
Then I
my
guess
primary guess.
our best course of action, at least for right now, is to further explore the southeast tunnel.
Wait, you don't want to go see our water friend?
Nez, you
Which
haven't said
one?
anything in a minute. What do you think?
I would prefer to go down the path that has less water, at least for now.
So southeast it is. We've explored every other path here.
I'm going to wait and follow behind Creed. I'm okay in close quarters, but I'd still rather let the paladin take the front.
Push the far side of the hallway, try to see to the rooms.
As you
Yeah.
look into here, they look to be some kind of supply closets. Most of the furniture and such that you've come across that is either made of stone, metal, or otherwise has been either deteriorated or broken by something. A detail that you can now see as you're stepping away from this room here is that most of the furniture and objects here, let me get my pen, are not in this circle. They exist around the circle, as if something came in and pushed everything away from it.
Probably a blast of water is my guess.
Blast of water, air.
Yeah. Alright,
Alright.
Kelly home.
There's,
Let's go.
But as you look in these
There's
closets, they
one.
look like they're supply closets, full of shelves with crates that seem to be cracked open, fallen over. You can see that some of the wooden crates in here that are in better condition have been ripped open by the same sharp claws you're seeing, marking the doors that you've passed through.
food.
I'm going to continue to hug this wall and move forward and look into the next closet.
You see the same thing. Shelves of what look to be cans and jars that have either gathered dust or are missing, leaving imprints on the shelves. The crates that are inside that have not deteriorated and look in better condition have been ripped open by something.
Okay. Since I've moved ahead a little bit, I want to kind of, I guess, sneak to this point right here just so I can peek around the corner without hopefully attracting anything or alerting anything.
Mm-hmm. So as you kind of look down here, trying not to peek too much, you see that there is a piece that goes to the left for you or to the east for anyone else looking at the map, and that it then continues on for another 50 or so feet.
All the hallways are connected.
And then
So I'm
here
going to-
you can see that there is shallow water here.
I'm going to say back to the others that I think I've found our best potential path forward so far. The best of not great options.
He's going to make his way down to Etheria.
Cora's going to do the same as soon as her elbow wants to cooperate. It works fine for like 30 seconds, and
I'll
then it
track
does
you
the
for the
whole
moment.
thing. Thank you.
As you guys peek around this corner, you can start to see a number of bones starting to litter the hallway again, leading towards that shallow water. And as you're kind of staring down it, you hear a massive thump against the double doors here.
Against where, sorry?
The double
double
doors
doors.
here in this
Back
last
out.
room. You hear a massive
Mm.
thump against the doors that at first doesn't seem to shake the foundations too much, but it all makes everything eerily quiet after the thump kind of echoes through the stone and the air that's left. And then it
Well,
thumps
that's-
again.
That's just not at all promising.
Well, something
Well,
wants in.
How tall are these hallways?
The hallways you're in are about 10 feet high. The double doors that you were standing in before are about 20.
Well, shall we continue down this hall? Away from the double doors that keep thumping?
Shall.
Yeah. That's probably for the best.
I'm gonna go all the way down.
I'm going to wait
So,
for Bree
like,
too much.
just before the water. Just before the water.
Yeah, Creed's going to the corner.
I'm going to stay close to him, yeah.
Arm will pass with Creed's gonna hop around the corner.
I'm just
Oh.
standing behind the corner behind Creed, just kind of peeking over his shoulder.
We just got a whole lot more hallways below us.
What do we
Oh,
see?
look, they're filled with water.
A lot of.
You see up
It looks like
ahead
the only. Mm,
that it's a hallway leading south with a turn to your right or to the west, intersecting back to something potentially. But you can see that there is a door here leading to a large chamber.
Oh no, I'm talking like here.
Oh, it's a corner.
So it's just a corner. There's not another hallway.
Nope, just a corner.
It appears we're going to have to brace ourselves and just try to enter this flooded hallway and hope that it doesn't get to shoulder level. I'm going to assume when I say that this part here isn't completely submerged.
It's not. This is shallow water. We'll say like deeper blue like this is knee height. Like more translucent is shallow.
Okay.
Here, I'll make some examples over on this side here for everybody.
Thank you.
Basically, like shallow wise, like ankle, like shin.
Yeah, shallow is like ankle. Decent is knee height, and then like this is
Arm
shoulder.
only.
Right. So you said there are bones here.
There are bones,
Mhm.
yes.
I'd like to find one that's about a foot long.
You find a femur among the
course.
piles of rocks or piles of bones.
I mean,
Are you about to whip a bone into the water?
yes. Gotta throw the bone as far as Creed can down to the water.
Damn, I don't know Lightning Lure anymore. I was about to do Creed's plan on crack.
All right. What do we got to roll?
Athletics, just to eat it.
I have a +7 to my athletics. And I got an 11.
Yeesh. Big oof.
At least you didn't roll a 1 and just, chuck it into your own face or something.
So
That's
you
true.
throw the bone into the water, and as you kind of throw it in, you see the bone hit the water and ripples go out, but you don't really hear anything past it as you kind of sit and you're waiting for something. It just nothing really seems to show of it. And the sound of this temple just seems to collapse in and on itself. It just becomes deathly quiet, as the only thing you can hear is your own breathing and your heartbeat in your ears as you're waiting for anything to happen.
Oh, keep going. Very carefully, Creed's gonna.
I'm
Into-
assuming out of character, Lucifer probably can't get wet, can he?
No,
So he'll be
can-
staying out of the water.
He's not waterproofed. He is water resistant.
Okay,
He's
'cause
powered
I was
by
gonna
an
hand.
Etheria engine.
No, I was gonna hand over Kaidana to Lucifer if he wasn't gonna be coming with us into the water.
I mean, you could still totally do that, but I mean, he can walk through ankle height water.
Okay.
He's almost kind of like a diving watch. Like he can go a certain depth and then
That's
No.
when issues begin.
As soon as we get to a depth in which Lucifer can't make it, I'll hand her over. But for now, she's good. I have a
So
feeling my
you
dragon's not
said
water friendly.
there's a door here that I'm assuming is closed. You said
It's not a door, it's a connecting pathway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just goes to your
you just
right.
can't make
I'm gonna
boxes.
move down to the corner then.
Well, now you're in knee-height water.
Yep.
Now,
Oh, this is
Darian, as
shallow.
you peek around the corner, it's shallow. Knee height is this one. And then this is shoulder. Remember to use the reference. If you can see the grids, you're fine. If you can barely see the grids, it's if you can't see the grids at all, bad time.
So is the part that we just came through just slightly damp then? Because it's lighter
Yeah.
than the...
Yes,
Okay.
this is basically shallow. Like, it's ankle height, you don't have to worry about it. It's just wet. Ankle
We're
height
in
or
my
less.
boots are now wet and I'm not happy with it deep.
Yes. You're in it's ankle height or less. It's unfortunate and uncomfortable.
I don't know if my boots of elven kind are waterproof. I
More
really
than
hope
likely.
they
Who's
are.
to say?
But yes,
Darian,
you were
as you
saying?
hit the corner and you're peeking around it, you see something turn and make eye contact with you.
Oh, friend.
He's wrong size.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, you can see it.
This is not a can I see it measurement. This is a can I Eldritch Blast it measurement.
Mm.
And the answer is
Okay.
yes.
Maybe friendly.
No.
Creed's gonna cock his head. What's wrong with Darian? I feel like you've seen a ghost.
It'd be more correct that I've seen a creature of aquatic nature, humanoid in size, that looks very dangerous.
As you are talking to Creed, you kind of turn your eyes towards him for a second as you catch the shimmer of a spear fly at you and land in the wall next to your head as this creature begins charging down the hallway at you, bellowing a horrifying roar as it's going that seems to shake the water in the hallways.
So I'm going to just look back at Creed and clarify. Never mind possibly dangerous. Definitely dangerous. Kill it.
I'm a
Kill it now.
I'm a running friend, and like, because I have friend of the sea, I'm gonna try and talk to this thing. Not speak with animals, talk to it, just be like, stop. Like, I don't know how to word it. Just like pretty much
Are
stop,
you
and I'm
gonna
gonna
try
put
and
my hand up.
Aquaman it? You're gonna try and tell it
Yeah,
to
I'm
cool
gonna,
its shit?
yeah. Yeah.
All right. We'll consider it like you're doing a charm spell. So,
Because I
what's your spells at the? I know what you have. What we're saying, if you're going to use that ability, we're going to consider you Aquamaning him, which is going to be
Okay.
consistent of a charm spell or a command
Okay.
spell to get him to fucking chill out. All right.
Okay.
So, in that sense, pick a singular word you want to use to essentially tell him to do something, and then tell me what your spell save DC is, please.
Spell save DC. Where do I find that again?
Under spells, it should be like at the top. Should be spell save attack bonus, which is a plus something, and then DC is the one next to it.
I have a 17 save DC, and I'm just gonna say halt. Just easiest, just halt.
It does. It stops where it is as it just breathes angrily at you.
I'm just gonna slowly approach it, ever so slowly.
It sits there as it's looking at you.
Actually, I'm gonna before I approach it, I'm gonna hand off Kaidana to Adarian, I guess, because he's closest. Move forward. I don't have my speak with animals, but I'm gonna fuck off, owlbear. And you're not gonna give me a speak with animals freebie. Because I can
It
speak to
isn't
them and they
even
can.
an animal.
It says beasts. It would be
It just looks
considered a
pretty
Did
beast.
you
Sure.
do a nature check to see if it's a beast?
I will do a nature check.
Oh. That would probably be a good start.
I should probably get closer to it though. I'll be like halfway to it and then I'll run a nature check. Oh, now my D&D Beyond is being stupid. I hate Safari.
Put
I don't
Chrome
even
on
use
your Mac,
Safari
man.
on my iPhone.
I have Chrome on my Mac. It doesn't work. Remember, I was having issues when we first started, and that's why I started having to use Safari. So nature
I did
check,
recommend
11.
a different browser, but
Oh, it
11.
shows home.
Down 11. Very good. So with that 11, you can tell that it is a. Let me put it this way. It is. Oh, it looks like an ogre got thrown in the ocean and evolved. And from what
Okay.
you can kind of tell, is that it is not a beast. That it is closer to a monster, since it is closer to an ogre.
Okay.
So it is a
I wouldn't be
it
able
is
to.
technically a monstrosity.
No, I wouldn't be able to speak with it anyways.
While she's figuring all that out, I want to look at it and just kind of get more of a detailed appearance of it.
All right.
I just,
So or you're kind of trying to figure out what this thing is, so you can kind of find if you can talk to it. Darian, you're looking at it. You can see that this thing is massive. It stands taller than Okros and seems almost cramped in this hallway as it's hunched over. Muscular, like very leathery skin looking form is just kind of hunched over. It seems to have a long, almost serpentine like tail instead of legs coming out behind it. It had a harpoon on its side that is now embedded in the wall next to your head. It has these massive jaws that kind of drop down with these almost sensory tendrils coming off of its face, with these two deep set green eyes that just kind of peer at you through the darkness, almost reflecting the light at you as you stare back at it. But it does seem to have 5 fingers in each hand and an extremely muscular build. Again, as much as you toss an ogre into the ocean and told it to evolve.
I'm going to reach into my bag because I'm assuming this is the creature that snagged the rations bar. I'm going to reach into my bag as I approach it and offer it a ration bar and say, no harm. Because it can understand me, so I'm trying to speak. I can't understand it, but I'm assuming it can understand me because it would be considered a sea monster, I'm assuming. And I'm just going to slowly offer the rations bar over.
All right. So we'll see if it does that. So it looks at you in the ration bar and reaches out to grab it, takes it quickly, and just kind of shoves the whole thing in its mouth, wrapper and all.
I'm just going to kind of like small smile at it because it didn't try and kill me and it took the offering.
As you smile at it, it seems to become extremely aggressive.
I'm just going to put both hands up and be like, no harm.
It seems to have lost its composure when you smiled at it, showing your teeth.
Oh, damn
And it charges at you and goes to try and slash at you. And it gets you right across the chest for 9 slashing damage.
Hold on.
And as it strikes at Aura, knocking you backward, forcing you to take a step back, you hear that roar again. Just a echo through the other hallways to your south, as almost they're answering the call that it gave when it attacked Aura. And as you hear this sound kind of echo through it, you hear that thump, thump against the double
There's
doors
more of
behind
'em.
you.
There's more.
So you hear the double doors here take 2 more strikes. As, well, I can just be able to, they should be here, so they should already be resized. Yay, it is. Hold on, I gotta fucking fix this guy.
While you're doing that real quick. So at least everyone that's around us real quick, you get 17 temp because Aura ran off, so she was out of range as I did it.
Oh, yes.
No, not 22. There you go. Save. Update. Thank
Of
you.
course, we get
No, that's
bigger.
too large. Too large. There we go.
Stand up.
A final thump echoes through the foundation as you hear something shatter over where the double doors are. Where is the fucking... Goddamn, I just had the fucking thing up here. As you hear a deafening roar come from where the double doors were. And now you find yourself surrounded by 4 of these monstrosities, and then something breaking through the double doors. And unfortunately, that is where we have to end our session for tonight.
I love that.
So,
Hello.
hello.
Was my wonderful hotspot disconnecting?
It's quite all right. You guys are now surrounded by 4 of those monsters that you just dealt with, and the double doors broke in the last large room you were in. But that is the
Yeah, I
end of the
pissed it
session.
off. I pissed it off by smiling at it.
So,
Possibly.
that is...
Also take 17 temp health.
Mhm.
Courtesy of stealth.
But yes, that is where we will end everything tonight. Thank you all for being here and being a part of it. Water is haunted. And if you can't tell, if we zoom out a little bit for my players to see, you still have a bit to explore down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you hate Zoe and want to torture him.
No, it's I wanted to make the temple a challenge.
No, yeah, you're good. I'm just...
Oh my
Water
gosh, is
temples
that
are
Blue
always a
Eyes White
challenge.
Dragon?
No, unfortunately not.
That's interesting. I'm looking at the players list in Albert, and it has Blackburn listed 3 times for me.
Yeah, it's because disconnect and reconnect. Owlbear's weird.
Eh.
Fair.
But yeah, so that's where we end our session. So let's do a quick breaky downy. There wasn't a whole lot going on except setting up into the combat and exploration. So we're gonna make it quick so that we can pass everybody off and get everyone to their sleeps, to their hydrations, to their whatever. So we can just kind of roll through. So starting with Mr. Okros, top of my window.
Yep. I mean, I did enjoy the beginning where you want the good news or the bad news. Also, I think it was a nice detail that you used a missile to break the surface tension of the water so the ship didn't just go.
Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, that could have been an issue.
Yeah. Pancaked. End of the campaign. Goodbye.
Oh boy.
The moment the DM just decides he's tired of your shit and wants a do-over.
I do not want to do over this campaign. This is like 3 years in the making. Absolutely not. I'd be like, no, it's time to move on to something else.
Yeah, fair. And but also, Jenna,
Yeah.
you know animals. You know wild creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you fucking smile at it?
She swore to
I
herself when
didn't-
she did it. When I was like, you showed your teeth. She was like, fuck.
No, because like I wasn't even thinking that far. I meant like the small little half like smirk smile, like no teeth involved. He's like, yeah, you showed your teeth. I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. Got it.
Well, you didn't say smirk.
Yes, I did. I said small little smile, like sheepish
You said
smile.
you said you smiled.
It is what it is.
Small-
It is.
oh,
It
yeah.
is what it is. It is what it is. Here we go. It's fine. Wouldn't be a session without Aura doing something.
Wow.
Wah.
Hey, it was. Should be interesting next week.
Oh,
It
yes.
was going so well. It was going so well. Burn couldn't let me have a win. No way. No way in hell.
I mean, you were doing pretty well up until that point. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever you say, Dr. Seuss.
I get a win. I called it. Fucking Sahagin.
no, those are marrows. Those aren't Sahagins.
Marrows. Oh shit. I've already closed it. I need to zoom in now. Owlbear, come back. I don't know what a fucking marrow is. I've got to do research.
They're
It
aquatic
reminds me of
ogres.
the. It reminds me of the thing from Shape of Water.
That's closer to a Sagan.
As soon
Oh,
as I know
okay.
it's gone, and I realized I could just drag out its way down here.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I need to zoom in more at things.
Silly
I didn't
person.
realize this zoomed in that far.
Oh, yeah, it has an incredible zoom for whatever reason.
But also, somewhat now?
No, yeah.
That moment was good in the beginning. I'm just like, prepare for submersion. What? No, I don't like it.
I was gonna say that was my favorite part for sure.
Fair.
As you felt like a fucking lawn dart towards the surface of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know why y'all was stressing. I was chilling.
How does it feel
Oh,
to
yeah.
have a smooth brain with no worries?
You were about this close from becoming a sardine in a tin can.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Darian, what you got for your breaky downy tonight?
I discovered my true purpose.
Yes.
I am a human flashlight.
I'm
Brings a whole new meaning to the Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain did not hear flashlight.
Jesus.
I know what your brain heard.
God, of course you
No.
heard that.
No. No.
Somebody needs to spray her with water.
Where's the spritzer? Damn it.
I don't think that's a punishment for a sea elf.
That's right.
No.
I need to throw pocket sand.
Yeah. Throw
Fair.
dirt at her.
Punishment pocket sand.
Uh,
Now your boots are gritty, ha!
I'm really enjoying the amount of exploration and like cooperative movement we're getting to do, and the layout you've set up for this is really cool.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
All right. Mr. Nez, Breaky Downey.
I enjoyed like the moment Creed and I had at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That was very it was fun. I wasn't expecting it. To be honest, and like I enjoyed it.
It would have been nicer if
Kinda-
some people like kept their mind out of the gutter.
I was about to say I had to mute for the largest part of that because Creed, in his attempts at being extremely poetic, kept saying things that made Zoe have horrible thoughts.
Oh yeah, I had to mute for a hot minute too. I was like,
Sorry, Creed. I really didn't mean to ruin your well set up moment there, and you did do a very good job. It's just like you said, brain went straight to gutter. Apologies.
you are the human. Never mind.
Don't you start.
Ah,
Don't.
What can I say?
you
He's a
fucking
fan of
start.
that gutter butter.
The
That's words I don't
Shush.
ever want to hear again.
Shut. No mas. No mas. Immediately vetoed.
Just server muted next time this comes out.
Just and smite.
Irma ban those two words
Wow.
in that particular order, please.
God damn it, Cass. She just sent me fucking DM. Fucking. No, Cass, just because you're sitting in the sideline doesn't mean you get to send me DMs of cursed things. You bastard.
Please continue.
I was
to do
laughing
so,
too
Cass.
much.
Torture him
I went-
more.
Thank you.
I went to add a drop of vanilla to my tea, and I was laughing so much I accidentally overflowed the cap.
Yeesh.
Oh.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting cup of tea.
It might not be the worst. I've done that once accidentally, and it actually turned out okay. Depends on
Fair.
the tea, I think.
I mean, my mom
Mr.
dropped
Nez,
it and I turned out
Check.
okay.
All right,
Your
Nez, what
feedback.
else you got?
Might be okay, I think.
I also like how this is definitely a challenge, at least for my character, this area,
Mhm.
just because I'm basically a pyro. So water everywhere is not good for me.
Yep.
Not to
I'll
mention,
do it.
you put
Alright.
a explosives expert in an underwater building.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mr. Creed, your breaky downy, please.
I really didn't like my trying to set up this really nice moment between me and Nez, and oh yeah,
I
like
apologize.
oh yeah,
Leave me
I
alone.
carefully told this wrap package. I'm not sure if the stifled laugh is being picked up or not by the microphone, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah. I love the fact that my paranoia is paying off.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It reconnected.
Oh, good. That was weird.
It's fucking Twitch.
It's a Twitch thing.
Fucking Twitch. You
Twitch
come
be
on.
twitching.
Come
Remind
on.
me of Grimm's facial reactions to our stupid shit.
That's about all I got.
All right.
He's probably
Last but
free.
not least, Aura. Breaky downies. What you got?
Obviously, Kaidana. Now you have me calling her Kaidana. Kaidana.
Okay, Donna.
Having her is a nice little thing. I finally have someone who's not going to argue with me.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
I really enjoyed like the fact that my like fuck it moment of approaching the creature paid off at first. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck.
You're doing so well.
I was. I didn't know what else to do because like basically friend of the sea. They understand me, but I have no clue what the fuck they're thinking or saying.
Right. So you get to use the command spell against sea creatures, essentially what it is. You get to
Yeah,
Aquaman that shit. But that
yeah,
means they still fall to their normal nature.
yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed my, you know what? Throw my hands like I pictured me sitting at a desk with paper, like stacks of paper, and just being like, like just throwing it up in the air. When I
Mhm.
went in that room and everyone else was like, no, water. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. You lead the way. I will follow. Let's go, boys. And we ended up walking around basically the entire temple, other than the southern region of it, trying to avoid the water. That was
Oh no.
inevitable.
Oh no.
Yeah. But other than that, like, I think it was a good session. I had fun basically being a tag along while they walked around in circles. And notice how I didn't try and read anyone's minds? You're welcome. I thought about it.
Ugh.
Yeah, so Etheria currently has my dragon. Because I never took her back. What was your favorite part, Grim?
So my favorite part was doing the drop in part where it was like, how am I going to introduce you guys to, going underwater? And just being like, yeah, you kind of just get yeeted into there like a
We
lawn dart. I was like, that's funny to me. Let's do that.
kamikaze that shit.
Yeah, and it's other than that, it was like doing the exploration, kind of drawing up the map, letting it kind of like cook and get to the point of where it's letting you guys kind of get into uh fun stuff is always good. So that was my big thing on that one. And so yeah, I mean it was a good session all the way across. I didn't really mind most of it. And so we're just going to be kind of wrapping things up here, and we will go and find someone to raid. And like I said, we will be doing this every week until we wrap up this story and kind of go from there. And then, depending on what work does, if I'm able to, I'll be able to start running the other campaign on Saturdays. But like tomorrow, I'm being called in as a emergency support, even though I don't work Saturdays often because of the kids. But there's a bit of a shitfuckle at the restaurant that I have to go take care of. So that just makes things difficult, but we'll kind of cross the bridge when we get there. Otherwise, I'll be around for my usual schedule during the week, and then we'll just kind of bridge from there. So let's find us a place for y'all to go. There's a couple of interesting groups that we could really kind of latch onto. Let me see what's going on here. We're gonna raid these guys because they only have 91 followers, and it looks like they're a pretty good veteran crew of physical tabletop doing a little D&D stream stuff. They're currently on episode 86 of their chapter 1, where they're in the Warforge factory, and I kind of like the guy's style. So we're gonna go raid into them and go show them some TLC, see if we can give them a little bit more exposure. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
thank you all for being here and being a part of this. And we'll see you all next time. This has been Grimmar Productions, and say a thank you to our dear players which make this all possible. Mr. Rexus playing Okros.
Hello.
Mr. Zokard playing Adarian.
Hello.
Mr. Stealth playing Nez.
Heyo.
Mr. Blackburn playing Creed.
It's not always to have you along.
And of course, Jenna playing Aura, the Sea Elf.
Ciao.
All right. Thank you all for being with us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye now.